Greetings, Black family. Greetings, and thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced in conjunction with the Front Line Blacc News. This is season 10, episode 33 of Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase. This is going to be me and Shabaka today. And on this season 10, episode 33, or Trey of the front of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced in conjunction with the Front Line Blacc News, Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase. We'll be discussing several topics. The first topic is, did Latino MAGA voters think Blaccs would get deported? Joy Taylor and Emmanuel Acho both get fired. Black family reunions are becoming a thing of the past for two reasons. Why do tethers always speak against FBA reparations while eating off of what our ancestors built? ChatGPT, reparations. Caribbean cosplayer caught Cappin. Does honoring FBA lineage or heritage mean seeking proximity to whiteness? And last but certainly not least, we got Julius Malema calls out South Africans or Xanians involved in Operation Dudula. All right, Shabaka, greetings from the mile high income and illegal migrant flooded city. You sound distorted, Shabaka. I don't know what you did. Are you on the headset?
Yeah.
Your volume sounds distorted.
Okay, what about now?
Like it sounds like you're really far away.
Shit. Okay. So shit. Okay, what about now?
Much better.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, okay. So they got this little microphone piece, that you gotta hold up. Okay. All righty. And then too, as you know about the Latinos thinking we should be deported. Okay.
Now, they thought that we would be deported, but the dump had to remind them that the 14th Amendment was specifically for us.
And then on top of it too, the dump, even though he said it, he did say we built this damn place, which he is right about. You know what I'm saying? And did Latino MAGA voters think Blaccs should be deported? Okay.
Would be deported. They thought that voting for Trump that he was going to get us deported. And said the dump had to remind them the 14th Amendment was specifically for us, the children of slaves.
Okay. Yeah, chattel slavery, yeah. And then also too, I did post up on my like page the one I had to rebuild Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. And for those who are interested, I got the map with slave ships because someone had asked me to pull that data up, which I did. Okay, and so then what I'm going to try to do is to get the maritime logs as well too. And
I think that person actually wanted to see a slave ship in the flesh in present day, not a drawing, not a rendering, but an actual slave ship.
Okay, but that's just it though. See, wood deteriorates, you know what I mean? And then keep in mind back at that time there wasn't treatment wood.
They got all these wooden artifacts that they have gotten from their many travels around the world and the Smithsonian and all these museums and all of that. So if they had them, they would have them still, because why would they not memorize something like that? Why would they not commemorate that?
Okay, all right, hold on. Smithsonian, oh shit, boy, Oh, I need to take a typing class. Hold on.
All right, while you're pulling that up, Shabaka, I'm gonna play this clip. So, it's from one of Tariq's Twitter spaces. It said, "Did Latino MAGA voters think blacks would be deported?"
Okay.
Florida, that the Cubans had several organizations that their number one goal was to replace black people in America.
Yeah.
That was their number one goal back in the 70s. He was, he did this thing.
Oh yeah.
The Mexicans demanding that we come out and fight for them, man, and education that you brought forth. This whole convergence of us delineating along with the deportations, and then all the tethers blowing their cover with the Essence Fest thing.
Oh yeah.
The Mexicans demanding that we come out and fight for them after all of the racism and things that they've done. I just wanted to make a point, brother, that something we might, maybe we could focus on in the future. But Dr. Claude Anderson was talking about back in the 1970s down in Florida that the Cubans had several organizations that their number one goal was to replace black people in America.
Yeah.
That was their number one goal back in the 70s. He was, he talked about that a lot. So with this scenario, with them voting for Trump, at a clip of like 55%. And, us foundational Black Americans, after the election, everybody's like, okay, why did they vote against their own best interests? Like, why, you know what I'm saying? We were all scratching our heads. Well, it turns out that, they thought that was the final piece of the plan to replace foundational Black Americans in America. They literally thought Donald Trump was talking about deporting us.
Yes.
And that's the reason why they voted for Donald Trump. I mean, like it's a video on TikTok of the Cuban guy. They were asking him about Donald Trump and what he thought about the deportations. And the guy said that, they thought that Donald Trump was going to deport all of the bad people. This is a Cuban saying this. And he, and Donald Trump clearly made statements that he was going to be deporting illegal Latinos. He made references to Latinos, Mexicans, and stuff like that. So anyway, they thought that they were going to supplant us by voting for Donald Trump, and that we were going to be the ones up out of here. They didn't understand the 14th Amendment. They didn't understand that we were citizens. Apparently, around the world, there's this perception that foundational Black Americans are immigrants, and America is the white man's country, and somehow we, they led us over here, something like that. These people don't know anything about our history. Anyway, I just wanted to make that point. Maybe you could, talk about how Dr. Claude Anderson called out this plot that they had to replace Black Americans back in the 1970s. All right, thank you, brother. Have a good night.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, man, people have been plotting on us. People have been plotting. And let me tell you something. The way people have been able to plot, because people can plot all day, but having the ability to do it, that's another thing. Why have they had the ability to kind of get over on us, Cubans and all these other groups? They've been able to do that for the longest. Now, we are stopping it now, but the way they were doing it is us doing this whole generic ass blackness stuff. We allowed folks to put us in a generic African bag. That generic African bag, that was a trap that erased lineage. Everybody else was rocking their lineage. Cubans are talking about, we're going to do shit for Cubans. We up here talking about, we're going to do shit for minorities. That includes Cubans, everybody else who are hostile towards us. And us allowing them to have us lay down with the whole everybody's African and African descended and all of that stuff.
Hey, Kahari, Grand Roger.
That suppressed our identity and allowed others to benefit off the legacy of foundational Black American struggles. Affirmative action, all of DEI jobs, scholarships, all of this stuff.
Okay.
Then we get left out of the rewards. And see, the mistake we made, and I'm glad we're correcting it now, this whole being oblivious to our ethnic lineage like that,
Mobile River.
that makes us the default workhorse for everybody else's agenda. When we fail to recognize ourselves as a distinct ethnic group,
To enter the United States,
we become the default soldiers in every racial, social, political movement, while everybody collects the rewards. You understand? So we're the go-to minority. So anytime a minority issue pops up, we're the soldiers. We're out here fighting and stomping and getting beat up and bruised, while everybody else walks off with the bag. That was a major mistake. Now we're not doing that. And now look at what's happening. People are like, hey, we're getting deported. Where are the FBAs to come help us? How dare you not help us? Listen to these people. Like the caller said, these people are upset that we don't have the cape on no more. Why? Because they've been so accustomed to it. They become entitled to us to come on out here and stomp for them and fight for nothing under this big generic minority banner. And we're just not doing it no more. See, that whole Pan-Africanism without accountability, that was a Trojan horse. That was for resource theft. Sitting up here claiming every damn body under one banner, and they're all secretly working against our asses. See, that uncritical Pan-Africanism, that teaches foundational Black Americans to embrace everybody that kind of look like us, regardless of history, loyalty, politics. And many of these African, Caribbean, Cuban immigrants and all of that, they exploit that open door policy. They exploit the hell out of it, and they have been exploiting it. So we stopped that little one-way exploitation pipeline. That shit is done. That's why people are so mad right now. The foundational Black American cultural export, man, that's the most stolen resource ever. Because we haven't guarded our shit, man. We just let our stuff get stolen. Our hip hop, everybody wants to claim it. That's why we did microphone checks. See, we have to shut this shit down. It got so bad. You had Japanese talking about they were instrumental in creating hip hop because they created the turntables and the 808 drum machine. They were trying to take credit. You see what I'm saying? When we don't guard stuff, and we keep creating, everybody feels like they have an entitlement to come snatch it up and claim ownership of it. We got to stop that shit. Yeah.
Stop it with the quickness, Tariq.
So we've been trained not to see ourselves as a distinct culture. And if you don't see yourself as a distinct culture, you're not going to protect your exports. You're not going to protect your creations. This is a new day. We're going to protect everything now. But that is divisive. You damn right it is. Because when y'all sit up there protecting what little wins you get, that's divisive too, and you ain't got no problem with it. Cultural pride and gatekeeping, that's the first step of empowerment. And all of that, we're all African rhetoric, that's used to justify infiltration, trying to convince us that we're part of some vague global African family, some kind of unknown, invisible African institution or government. No. We're no. That just leaves us open to be exploited. Yeah. These people don't share the same struggle, the same worldview, the same loyalty, none of that stuff. Without gatekeeping, that becomes a soft form of ethnocide. Ethnic clarity is the foundation for legal claims like reparations and everything else. When you want to do reparations, which is we're still stomping on reparations, it has to be lineage based. It has to be tied to those who descended from freedmen here in the United States. Shout out to California. They're now talking about the descendants of slaves and freedmen and all of that when they're putting out paperwork and policies now. They're talking about it again out here in California. So now we have them talking about lineage-based policies. See, if we don't assert ourselves as a specific ethnic group, stuff like reparations, all that becomes impossible. You know, because any black person can try to claim eligibility. See, that was the goal for the Pan-Africanists. They wanted to muddy the water so that nobody gets paid. See, the tethers, I want y'all to understand, tethers do not want us to get reparations. Y'all remember the tether who called yesterday? He was trying to be all slick, and we looked at some of his tweets, and he was really against reparations. Oh, y'all ain't never gonna get reparations. The tethers do not want us to get reparations. And the fact that we are pushing that envelope and we're moving the needle and we are getting close, we're gonna get reparations. We're definitely gonna get it. We don't know when it's coming. The wave is there. It's gonna come. It's definitely coming. The tethers don't like that because tethers, notice how hostile they are about our reparations. Notice how they keep trying to crowbar themselves in. They every time there's a task force, they hopping on a task force. They're in our spaces just whining about reparations. You guys need to stop begging the white man. And why are they so twisted up about reparations and they're not even qualified to get it? The tethers know, family, that they act as a buffer for the white supremacists against us. That's how they get their little crumbs now. They know they can get them some extra mammy crumbs if they act as a buffer against us to protect the white supremacists. So if they have to pay us reparations, them Negroes are not going to be needed as buffers no more. Because again, their job is to crash out reparations. I want y'all to understand these folks got a little weird, little janky secret relationship with the white supremacists. See, the name of the game was us to be generic Negroes so that white people can elevate these guys into authoritative positions. And every time we talk about reparations, their little position Sambo would say, hey, listen, I'm from the Congressional Black Caucus, and we should not get no reparations. We need to leave white people alone. That's exactly what they've been doing. Or if we're going to do reparations, I got a commission for a study for reparations. That's what Sheila Jackson Lee did, who was Caribbean. You understand? So they would play this little stall game. It was the tethers who jumped out there to be a buffer. They were the ones kicking the can down the road for reparations, sabotaging it from within by acting as our representatives. That was the little janky deal that they made with the white supremacists. That's why the governors here and this person there and a lot of these people in certain political positions are from the tether class. Now that we're waking up, and we're saying, hey, that tether over there who you got elected don't represent us. That person does not represent us. And we don't want nobody from a different lineage calling shots for us when it's some lineage-based policies that we need to get popping. We don't want these people representing us. Now the tether class is shaking in their boots because now the white supremacists are looking at them like, well, do I really need you? And we're seeing them back off a lot of their tethers. You know, they're laying them off jobs. They're not getting reelected like they used to because the FBA Renaissance is in full swing right now. So they don't need the tethers like they used to. Emmanuel Acho, they just laid him off from Fox Sports. That was one of their little tethers that they would have who would be buffers, act as a buffer. And he was, there was that little sex scandal with him and old girl, Joy Taylor. Thing. So they got laid off. All of them got laid off. So yeah, the tether class, they're getting rid of them in many of these institutions. They don't need them like they used to. Because now they're gonna have to deal with us directly. The dominant, we hollering at you, and we got to get them tangibles up out of you. Brother Black Alpha, hop on, sir.
My good brother, you cooking tonight, family.
I'm trying, brother. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, family. You made a phenomenal point, brother. I wanted to comment on. Before I do that, though, I heard Emmanuel Ocho. I heard he's gonna wake up tomorrow and his hairline gonna be about 5 feet backwards, fam, from that firing. So I didn't want to let the family know his consequences.
Yeah, yes.
But yeah, brother, you made a great point. How finding our foundational Black American culture and having that cultural pride that has created a domino effect, an aftershock that is truly spread across the whole nation. You can look at every single organization, political party, every single fake group, and you can pinpoint where they've been affected by us finding our cultural pride, delineation, and keeping. You look at the Democrats, those numbers you just gave out earlier, brother, you broke that down thoroughly. Those numbers are a direct reflection of foundational Black Americans having our cultural pride and then analyzing how these people have never done anything for us and now they're dealing with it in the political atmosphere. Illegal immigrants and migrants, they're going home right now because of FBA cultural pride. It was really us, brother. I mean, I want to say this, fam, because I've been seeing a lot of people. Donald Trump has been getting a lot of credit for mass deportations, but mass deportations and immigration being a serious issue, that was because of FBA. We're the ones who we really made that, brother. Because Donald Trump, when he was president in 2016, all he said was just build that wall. That's all he said. That deportations came in effect because foundational Black Americans, we were the ones mostly filming these people going into high rises, getting those EBT cards. There was usually a Black American behind the camera because they were being dumped off in our communities the most. So I believe we spearheaded that, and Donald Trump really just rode that wave. And one last point I want to make, brother, is I never seen all these Africans and Caribbeans and all these Mexicans. They didn't really have too much of a problem when Black Americans were going by minority and people of color. They didn't have a problem. It's when foundational Black Americans start knocking on that door. Now you see the crash outs. Now you see the meltdowns, and they just gonna have to keep on crashing out. Salute to you, brother.
My brother, real talk, and brother Black Alpha made a very good point. All of this is us. This is us. See, they could not have gotten those deportations together if we were standing there protecting them like we usually do. The fact that we're like, hey, man, do what y'all do. That's how they were able to do that, because we weren't out there sitting up there with the cape on. Yeah. And we ain't doing it. You don't see us out there with the cape on. See, people watch us and watch what we do. It's very important for any group. If you want to do something, you got to have our moral support behind it. If you don't have our moral support behind it, it ain't going to really go nowhere like that. And our moral support is not behind caping for people, these illegal immigrants. It's not there. That's why there's not no real major backlash. People are still trying to protest whatever. They're still getting deported out here. We ain't out there. You understand? And I'm telling you, it's the foundation of Black American Renaissance that's making that happen. You see, cultural pride, see, that destroys a lot of narratives, especially the narrative that they like to put on us that we have no heritage. That's a big lie that they like to put on us. We had to shut that down. That was one of the most insidious lies told to foundational Black Americans. We have no culture, or we're disconnected from Africa. See, that was a myth used to kind of shame us into embracing these foreign entities. But again, we had to gently remind everybody, we are literally the culture. We are the culture. Everything culturally great about this nation comes from foundational Black Americans. We are the culture of America. Other groups don't really have no culture. Excuse me. Boy, I wish when I see these folks talk all that culture stuff, boy, I wish they say that around me. Some of that stuff, I see interviews and I'm like, boy, say that shit around me. Come around me and say that stuff, dude. Man, come around here and say that so I can straighten that whole shit up. When I see interviews, y'all don't understand. I be wishing that, and some of these platforms, I've been on them. Some of these folks talk crazy, and when I'm on the platform, they don't talk all that shit. See, they know when to say all that stuff and who to say it to. Out of the academic, all these people, yeah, academic, he wasn't talking all of that stuff when I was right there sitting looking him in his eyes, because I was breaking all that bullshit down. You know, they know. And shout out to academic, not a problem. Don't have a problem with him. But all these folks, they know who to say some of that weird stuff to and when and where to say it. Man, I wish somebody would, foreign from a third world country, come over here telling us about some damn culture. Yeah, you know who to say that to. We're going to get some straightening on all that stuff. But gatekeeping, that stops the whole repackaging of foundational Black American history. See, they try to repackage our history and take credit for it. You understand? A lot of these people try to claim our victories as their own legacy, but we can't claim theirs. See, we have to shut all that stuff down. And, you know, the system thrives when foundational Black Americans don't really realize that we're a nation within a nation. See, we're the only ethnic group in America that was created entirely on American soil. We're not immigrants in any sense of the word. So we are the only truly American ethnic group by birth, blood, and contribution. And the system, they survive by keeping us from recognizing this fact. Because see, when we recognize this fact, we start demanding our own institutions, our own legal protections, our own sovereignty. We don't rely on outsiders to validate us. We start checking stuff like we're checking now. Don't ever let nobody put us in no generic African bag. That generic African bag, that is only designed to benefit non-FBA tethers. That's why it is imperative that they make us generic Africans. You know, every time we start talking about being foundational Black Americans, they start panicking. No, nigga, you are Yoruba. No, I'm not, brother. I'm a foundational Black American. No, nigga, we're the same niggas. No. They just try to insist that we're supposed to be African. Overtly. Now, behind closed doors, these same people, we're all types of Akatas, wayward, we don't know where we come from, all that bullshit. Now, they know we're different. They know. The name of the game is to trick us. Behind closed doors, they always say we ain't them and stay away from us and all that. Man, please. They know. I want y'all to understand something. When we have tethers hopping in here telling us, you're African, we all this. Look, they know we're different. Because when they get behind closed doors, they make sure to remind each other that we are different from them. We are just here to be exploited. The name of the game is to con us into believing we're some kind of generic African group. So anything we get, it gets done under the banner of African. Then they can go grab and get first dibs on it. You understand? That's the only reason they like for us to claim generic African lineage. And that's what Pan-Africanism is. Us allowing people to come over here and eat off of us under the banner of Africanism. We can't go to Africa and get shit unless we have a bag. Let's just be real. And those days are over, ladies and gentlemen. It's a brand new day. Oh man, let's get some more folks in here. Let's get E-Boy Terrorist. E-Boy Terrorist. What's up, E-Boy Terrorist?
Brother Tariq, how you doing today?
I'm good, E-Boy. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm just sitting here. I got some Rootworks deodorant in the mail a couple days ago. I'm just sitting. Yeah, I got the vanilla flavor.
Oh yeah, because you're a white man, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I just got to show out for my brothers. But
works very.
Yeah. What's up? What'd you say?
Yeah, I said that Rootwork vanilla works very good on Caucasians. But
yeah, it does. You keep cutting out, man. I don't know. I just wanted to come up and say I hope you're having a good night.
Oh yeah, everything is good, man. Thank you so much. All right, I think I was cutting out because he kept talking over me. Okay, I see Stanky Stacy. I haven't seen Stanky Stacy in a minute. Stanky Stacy, how you been, dear? I hope you're not drunk, Stanky Stacy. Usually you call up drunk. And I hope you gotten off that liquor. Stanky Stacy, unmute your microphone, ma'am.
How you doing, baby?
Hey, Stacy, how are you, dear?
I'm good. I'm just trying to figure out what y'all talking about tonight. No, I'm not that drunk tonight.
Good. Get you off that liquor. We need to get you off that hard liquor.
Okay, but anyways, if I want to drink, I can drink. I'm a grown ass woman.
I know, dear, but you shouldn't be drunk in the middle of the night.
Anyways, it's not that late. It's not that early either. But yeah, what are we talking about exactly? Because I'm here to talk about it because I don't understand when you talk about Africans and all that. You know what I mean? Like, I have a lot of African friends, and
Me too. So what's the
all
point?
right. The point is that we can't just sit here and act like we aren't together with them. We together make a lot of means.
Okay. Now, Stacey, what's your lineage, dear? What's your lineage?
Really, you want to go there with me?
Yes, ma'am. What's your lineage? Whenever you ask somebody that and they get offended,
I'm Black and German.
okay.
So I'm a mutt, if you must.
Your dad is German?
Really? Was that a joke?
Black and German.
You're the one who said you were Black and German.
No, my dad is Black. My mom's German.
Okay. I didn't know, ma'am. Your dad.
Yes, you did. You did.
I forgot. Your mom is German. Your dad, where is he from? Is he Caribbean? Where is he from?
No, he's straight from the plantations.
Really?
He's Black. Yes.
What's his last name?
Eppinger.
Okay. Oh, I always got some foreign vibes from you. You sure your dad is from a plantation here, or he's from a plantation in the Caribbean?
Wow, you are really trying to break this down. No, he's from the plantation of Eppinger. Eppensalt.
Because don't you live in like Iowa somewhere? Don't you live in some weird place?
I do. Some weird ass place, but I'm originally from Seattle.
Okay. What you doing out there in Iowa?
Yeah, it's a long story. I broke up with an ex, came here to start my life over, and I'm doing good now.
Okay, you still doing OnlyFans, dear?
Oh, really? You want to break it down to that? Is that your technique?
Not my technique, ma'am. I'm just asking. That's why if I click,
I do way much more than that. But if you want to go ahead and broadcast that, then anybody that wants to join, go ahead. Yes, I got a very nice OnlyFans, but I didn't put that out there. He did. Tariq did.
Well, we all know you've been on here many times. We've always talked about you, yo.
Okay. Well, I really admire you. So
that's good. That's good. And I wish you the best. I want you to do good, Stacey. I want you to get out the game. And then
oh my God, I don't need you to get me out the game. I could get out the game anytime, babe. I came on here as an intellectual, not to be, put down or anything like that. Or
didn't put you down. Nobody's putting you down. I'm not putting you down, dear. I'm
all right.
I hope you do good, dear. Okay. All right.
I literally want to figure out what you're talking about and be a part of the conversation and all of that, not just be treated like a OnlyFans.
Nobody's treating you like an OnlyFans, Stacey. Good Lord, you're projecting a lot of stuff.
Really? You brought it up. I didn't.
Okay.
Nobody would have known that I was about OnlyFans if it wasn't for you, baby.
Stacey, all they have to do is click your page and your titty is out on the very first video, ma'am.
Okay, but I didn't even ask them to go to my page. You did, baby.
Yeah, don't say that. And you got your damn.
Mwah.
Okay, all right. And you got something strange in your ass. And come on now.
You must like it.
I know.
Do you like it?
Ma'am, I know.
Come on now, you like it.
Ma'am, I told you need to be somewhere doing some librarian work or something. You got to get out the game.
I did work for a library. I worked for a library for 20 years, baby.
Built like a book. So yes, you need to get out here and stop.
Oh, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
Thank you, dear. I'm not going to get on you, but thank you, dear. Thank you. Good Lord. How you going? Oh, don't tell folks about my OnlyFans, and you click on your page and you got your titty in your mouth. Come on, ma'am. Okay. How you going to get offended and you up here playing with your cootie hair on your page and you getting offended? How dare you? Ma'am, it's on your page. You bent over, you in the buck on your page, ma'am. I think somebody got you in the buck. That little shape. That little shape is so funny style. Oh Lord.
Lord is right.
But hey, people like weird shapes these days. That's a thing. You know who got that? Joy Taylor. Her shape is kind of weird. From Fox Sports, I saw her doing like a little workout video. She got one of them little janky shapes. She got a pretty face and pretty titties, but that ass is a little boxy. She got a little boxy ass. So, but they were hitting it up there at Fox Sports, so everybody was taking turns on that little boxy ass. And then she got canned, so she need to do something. All right, hopefully get a little ass surgery, get the little round that boxy ass out a little bit. Face and titties are pretty, man. You know, you still smash now. I'm just saying, just because the ass is a little boxy and everything is foxy, you can still smash. But I'm like, okay, it's all right.
All right, Shabaka, what are your thoughts on did Latino MAGA voters think blacks would be deported?
Okay, I had to wait for it to unfold, and like I said, in this dumpster, man, I don't put shit past you. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now also too,
family and fellow soldiers, I'm the professor, and
he already said we can't be deported. We're the only original citizens of this country. So them thinking that voting for him was going to get deported has backfired on them, and now they're getting deported.
Okay, all right, Dr. I got her I pulled her up here on Stinky Bird, and let me see here if I could. All right, I'm gonna follow her, and I'm trying to see if I can email her.
Okay.
Okay. All right, wait a minute. Okay, let me see here. So
Latinos for Trump. Y'all thought that we were going to be deported, and joke's on you. We have the 14th Amendment, which gives us birthright citizenship. So, no, we can't be deported. So you can go back to your homeland and rebuild that up. Since I was so eager to get us deported, now you're getting deported. That's what I have to say about that.
Okay, so alrighty. So I just sent a request on to Dr. Ani, asking her to get in touch on that. So we got to sit there and wait, so hopefully she'll get back with us. Okay. What's Professor Black Truth talking about?
What Tariq was alluding to about Emmanuel Acho and Joy Taylor getting fired.
Oh, okay. Where did they get fired from?
Fox Sports.
Oh, okay. Well, Fox Sports, man, that's ultra conservative. Ain't that there where what's his name used to be on Tucker Carlson?
Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
No, not Fox Sports. She used to be on Fox News.
Oh, okay.
Oh, seems hard bootlicking just doesn't pay off like it used to, or rather it does pay off exactly the way that it used to, because it don't pay off. It's been a rough year for Joy Taylor and that gaggle of goofballs she hangs out with, or rather used to hang out with. Speak has been silenced. I think the show is called Speak for Yourself, but nobody cares. It was the T-Move version of that Screamfest Stephen Smith does. In a development that will surprise absolutely no one, Joy Taylor has now gone the way of another Joy who worked at another network, Joy Reid. And just like with Joy Reid, if it wasn't this, it would have been something else. Joy Taylor's contract with Fox Sports has not been renewed. The network looked and said, we'll take a hard pass on that one. The white media stories covering this event are calling it a shakeup, but in reality, it's actually a crackdown. Now, we all knew that Joy Taylor's days were always numbered. She was basically a pair of boobs with some lipstick. She brought nothing to the table except her cleavage, and you can't build a career on that, at least not as a sports commentator. I mean, honestly, you could have put up a poster of a woman on the set, and that would have been better because at least you wouldn't have had to hear Joy Taylor's garbage, cringe-worthy takes. The headlines about her getting canned were barely 24 hours old before she was already online thoughting it up, trying to thirst trap the next desperate white media executive, or maybe some rapper or athlete who's on the downslope of their careers and is looking for something halfway decent to put on their arm. Joy Taylor slept her way to the middle, allegedly. She got to the first rung of the ladder and then immediately slipped. But she's not the only one whose show got a one-way trip to the toilet. Emmanuel Acho, our favorite tether, he also got the boot too. They gave him his walking papers, unceremoniously, of course. And here I'll bet he thought that he had escaped the axe once he left Speak and got on The Facility, which is one of the dumbest titles for a show ever. You know, when a network or studio gives a program one of those non-title titles, that means that they don't really think much of the show or the people on it, and Acho's involvement was certainly proof of that. Sure, he's like that other tether, Stephen Smith. He's loud, obnoxious, and loud, but he has no real charisma, no real talent. The camera doesn't like him. His takes are more garbage than a landfill, and there's nothing about him that compels viewers to come back. But if I was a betting man, I'd say the odds are 50-50 that he manages to slither his way onto some other outlet. Hell, it wouldn't necessarily even surprise me if a year or so from now Fox Sports offers him something else. And if that happens, that'll just go to show that the cockroaches really will outlive people after World War III. But back to Joy Taylor. Nobody can say that they were surprised by this. Everybody was just counting the seconds until her flabby behind hit the pavement. According to the lawsuit that was filed by Taylor's former colleague, Nushin Faraji, Taylor was allegedly having an affair with Charlie Dixon, who was the executive vice president at the network and the guy most responsible for Taylor's brief rise at Fox Sports. He's since been let go. This while Taylor was a married woman. Taylor, of course, denies all of it. But there was one other claim that Faraji made in her lawsuit that I thought was equal parts hilarious and revealing. Faraji claimed that she had warned Taylor that she shouldn't be sleeping with the boss because that was dangerous. And according to Faraji, Taylor explained that she was now also powerful too, just like her boss. And once Mr. Dixon was no longer useful to her, she would follow through on her plan to tell the company that he forced himself on her. She would not allow herself to be forced out by Mr. Dixon like other women talent. And what happened in the end? She was forced out just like the other women were. I find it hilarious to see the words "her plan" in a sentence about Joy Taylor. As I said in my other commentary about this, the lawsuit claims regarding Taylor mostly have nothing to do with any alleged harms to this Faraji woman. They mostly seem thrown in order to make sure that whatever office gossip, rumors, and innuendo about Taylor that there was would become public, because practically everything about Taylor in the lawsuit was just airing her dirty laundry. This is highly unusual with lawsuits, by the way, but nonetheless, one has to wonder if maybe this Instagram-level model, actress, whatever, was seriously thinking that she was going to Me Too the guy who gave her the job in the first place. If Joy Taylor had worked at a company that was majority female, and even then that's no guarantee, her plan would at least be a viable option. Go ahead and dog out the guy so the other girls can get on code with you. But this is the real world, where the entire reason that she allegedly had to do the get down with this doofus-looking executive was because that was the way to climb the ladder. And the only way to execute her plan would be to get his buddies, who would almost all be male and definitely all be white, to go along with it and can him on her behalf. By the way, just out of curiosity, when has any black woman, even a light-skinned one, ever been able to make an accusation of any sort against a white man in power and get him to be removed? When has that ever happened? The only time white men in power pretend to play along with that game is if the black woman happens to be making an accusation against a black man, or at the very most, against a non-white man. Every time a black woman made an accusation against a powerful white man, she was either refuted by white women, like Lena Dunham did when she openly denounced Aurora Perrineau after she accused a TV writer of raping her in 2012, or in other cases, like when Lupita Nyong'o made accusations against Harvey Weinstein, they just ignored that altogether. So I don't know what power Joy Taylor thought that she might have had, but she's finding out she's nowhere near as powerful as she imagined herself to be. Turning some heads isn't the same as being able to lead people around by the nose. The reason people tend to believe, or at least not push back against the characterization of Joy Taylor made in that lawsuit, is because it jibes completely with the arrogance and self-evident narcissism that she exudes. She thinks she's God's gift when in reality, she was simply there as window dressing. She was an on-air accessory, basically a potted plant, something to have on set in order to create interest. She was already in her 30s, for God's sake, and even she had to know that the writing was on the wall. So at this point, now the network executives are free to find some other empty-headed mid-20-something bop that they can go ahead and put in front of the cameras. Hey, here's the new hotness. Joy Taylor wasn't the first female to benefit from the horniness of these reprobate corporate executives, and she won't be the last. I'm sure, though, I'll get the comments flooded with people who are saying bootlicking is a career path that doesn't come with a retirement plan. Well, in the case of Joy Taylor, she was licking more than boots, allegedly. So what's her next chapter going to be? I, for one, can't see any of the big networks taking her on. Fox Sports wasn't big to begin with. And especially since that lawsuit put out the idea that she's looking to Me Too somebody. Will she pop up on some panel show maybe? Perhaps, but the question is, what media executive is going to roll the dice on her? She's not a draw. Nobody's saying, hey, Joy Taylor could go and do a sports show. She knows so much about sports, why she could go to this or that network or radio station or even a podcast. Nobody's eagerly waiting to see what it is that she comes up with next. And anybody who was dumb enough to watch Speak because she was there, well, they clearly weren't doing it for her insightful commentary. She didn't know squat about sports, and it showed, even to someone like me who knows nothing about sports at all. And she didn't have to know a thing about sports. That's why she was the one holding the cue cards. She knew what her job was. Wear tight outfits, preferably with plunging cleavage, pretend to laugh at Acho's lame jokes, and give her own cringe-worthy, sassy comments from time to time. So people outside of Fox Sports are as clueless as she is as to what she might try to do next that anybody would actually care about. Her bust line does not make a show. There's simply far too many of these thoughts out here calling themselves businesswomen when in reality they're employees, nothing more. Though I gotta tell you, if I was a betting man, I'd say that it's even odds at this point that she winds up starting an OnlyFans before it's all over. Try to see if there's any losers out there who are stupid enough to fork out any cash to see her pudgy body wearing ill-fitting bikinis. The point of this morning's briefing is predictable. Yes, we're going to dunk on Joy Taylor and Emmanuel Acho, because why not? But there's also another reason. This is why you don't want to sell out. There's lots of people who are looking to sell their souls, and they never get very much for it. There's a good reason that there's so many executives who looks like Quasimodo, and yet they always seem to have some young nubile females who are ready to get down with them. This is the reality of the whole Me Too era. There's a line of females who will bite your arm off to get a shot at the casting couch. And these corporate creeps know it. Morality and the white media are contradictions. They're all just playing the game, the executives and the women who they're sleeping with. And for a while, to the ignorant or the impatient, it may seem like they're winning. But even if Joy Taylor hadn't gotten herself canned, would you really want to do what she did? These people always seem as if they're rich and powerful when they're on TV, when they're in front of the camera. And then, of course, when these people get canned, we found out later on that basically they were on their last legs financially. And that's why so many of them are so eager to do whatever these white media executives tell them to do. Because truth be told, they're living paycheck to paycheck, no matter how big the check may be. This is not somebody who looks in the mirror and sees a winner. This is somebody who looks in the mirror and at most she sees herself as being some sort of survivor. She basically had to do some dirty stuff in order to climb the ladder, but hey, it's a rough world and she's just doing what she's got to do. You have to lie to yourself in order to play this game. There's no other way. And in this case, yet another suck up to the white media has found out that in the end, the game plays you. But you know, just for the record, if by some unholy miracle, some aging, creepy white media executive somewhere decides that she tickles his fancy and he wants to give her a sports job sitting on a panel somewhere, I think I can recommend a title for it. Fumbling the Bag. Good day and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors. Deborah Cooper, Neil Saphir, AAP, Antonio Daniels, and Rebellious Zoe. Salute to them and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this message. Black empowerment only exists because of you.
All right, Shabaka, there's like 3,000 people that own the copyrights to African Americans.
Let me address this anti-Black.
So I'm sure there's somebody that has a patent and a copyright on Afro descendants, on diasporic Africans, all of that. All that stuff is copywritten, Shabaka.
Hold on, let's do a search on it. Who owns copyright? Okay, what was the first one you said? African American, right? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, African American. There's like 3,000 patents on it. There's like 3,000 copyright patents on it. And that was brought to us by Jesse Jackson, back in 1988.
Okay, all righty. Let's see. The ownership of copyright to African American culture is a complex issue, often
Culture.
intertwined with trademarks and legal protections.
Yes, exactly.
Prince is one of them. The name is music. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. The African American trademark was registered in 2016 by African American Incorporated, a company that specializes in food and beverage services. Now, you see this right here? I'm willing to bet you dollars to donuts. It's a cave dweller that owns that. Also, too.
Exactly, Shabaka. So I don't even know why you're bringing this up.
Okay, all right, hold on, brother Chay. Historically, African American music artists have faced legal challenges regarding copyright protection, indicating a need for better legal frameworks to ensure their rights are upheld. These elements illustrate the ongoing struggle for recognition, ownership in the African American cultural landscape. Now, that's what that dude Clyde Davis would come in at, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what that dude Clyde Davis would come in at. All right, and now you got all these damn things, search engines going every other goddamn thing else except what the fuck we trying to find. Now, of course, trademark registration, trademark search, price compliance, all that bullshit. Okay, all right. Please continue. Okay.
So, what are your thoughts on Troy Taylor and Emmanuel Ocho both getting the boot from Fox Sports?
Well, they got that on their resume, man. Shit, they can go to local radio stations, man, and pick jobs up easy, man. You know, being sports commentators. They can also go, man, you know, to some of the sports leagues and get hired. You know what I'm saying? Rather as a consultant, rather doing, you know, some other shit. You know what I'm saying? In other words, man, they ain't gonna starve.
They're gonna starve, Shabaka. Ain't nobody gonna pick them up. They don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Okay, well,
don't know what the hell he's doing. His joke lame and corny. So like, ain't nobody really checking for them. But we'll see.
What I'm saying is but they got enough money manufacture. I know that. You know what I'm saying?
Free zone. Yeah. Exactly.
Pyramid. Okay.
I think Emmanuel Ocho is a tether too. I can't remember where he was from, but he's either in the Caribbean tether or African tether. Joy Taylor, I don't know if she's American or what, but either way, they both got the boot. So Fox Sports said there's no longer have no use for them.
All right.
So moving along, we got Black family reunions are becoming a thing of the past. For 2 months. I got this cue out of sync. Okay.
Posts going around saying that Black family reunions are down to the tune of 47% since 1997. Now, some of the things that were cited was, well, the elders have passed away. And the other thing is unresolved family issues. Now, let's go to the first point where the family elders have passed away. I would say, just even looking at my own family, that, yeah, that's true. Because the elders are grandparents, right? They were considered to be the glue of the family. Everybody went over to grandma and grandpa's house, all the cousins and everybody, right? There was just a lot of warmth and love there, and you just wanted to be there, right? And your grandparents, they were closer to tradition. They knew how important it was to have the family get together, if not once a week, right? At least once a year. throughout these family reunions. And often that's where we would see cousins and aunties and uncles and people we hadn't seen since the year before. And it was just an opportunity for us to, say, hey, how have you been doing? Dance, play cards, eat good food, and a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, that is down. I would say that's true for my family. I personally haven't been to a family reunion since I think 2016. Now, since then, my mom has passed away. Some of my aunties and, a whole host of other people, right? They're no longer there. Now, those were the people that were like, hey, we got to get together. Who's going to be, on the planning committee? Who's going to bring what? Where is it going to be? But for some reason, my generation, now listen, I'm 54. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we've lost the feeling, the importance of it all. And the other thing they said was, well, there's a lot of unresolved issues within the family. And when the elders were here, they were saying, "I knock all that off." Okay, I don't know why y'all mad. Y'all tripping. Y'all too soft or whatever. That don't matter. That's still your cousin or whatever it is. And so with the elders being gone, that wisdom is gone. That good old fashioned tough love wisdom, well, you can't choose your family type of wisdom right now, depending on what that family member did. Oftentimes, there's nothing to stop speaking to each other over or not going to the family reunion because we good for who all gonna be there. Right. And if it's that cousin or whoever it is that you don't get along with, you just decide not to go over one cousin, over something that's probably not even that big of a deal, right? The older people will say, get out your feelings. You in your feelings. Stop getting in your feelings, all that. So we're losing that wisdom. And that's the other reason why it's very important that we hang around our elders, because they can impart the knowledge and the wisdom and the family tree and all that on us, right? And we could pass that down. I mean, we're even in a point in time to where we're not even passing down the family recipes, right? Your grandmama's sakatumi cake or whatever. Most of us don't know how to make that because we stopped hanging around them. We don't know what grandma put in her mac and cheese and all of that. We getting it off of TikTok now when you should really be getting it out of your grandma's recipe books. How many of us still have those? I still have mine. It's been passed down to my daughter and my nieces and all that. We don't even do those things anymore, let alone plan a family reunion. But yeah, we need to get back to those things because it does give us an opportunity to meet with each other and see how we're doing, kiss the new babies and, all that other stuff. But, that's also kept us intact with each other so that we can discuss, okay, how's grandmama house doing? Or, this, that, and the other, and where we can learn the importance of keeping our family together, keeping our family heirlooms together, the family properties together, and all of that, right? So I'm sad to hear that our family reunions are down almost 50%. But the good thing is, if that's true, and I believe that is true, we should start saying, hey, maybe we don't have these grand ones like we used to, but how about we start small and then we could get back to that, right? What you bringing? Oh, you bringing the ribs? Okay, you bringing the potato salad? Who gonna be on the music, right? Back in the day, you had to bring these big old turntables and all that. Now you can just bring your phone, hook it up to some speaker, and bam, you got music, right? And let's play the stuff that we was playing back in the day. We kind of like that, our family union. But you know what? The younger people might. So we got to be open to a lot of things, right? We got to get rid of that, oh, it's my way or the highway, and we ain't going to do this, and we ain't. And I'm speaking by myself, okay? This is a teaching moment for me, even as I say all these things. So, yeah, let's get back to having these family reunions where we can grandmama and granddaddy and them what they used to do and all of that, because with these family reunions being a thing of the past, well, so is our history. So anyway, y'all let me know what you think of that. And for more insightful comments.
Days like this, I really miss my grandmother.
Well, we all do.
Kept my family together.
Yeah, well, see, that's just it, though, man. That's what the movie Soul Food was about. If you recall it, with what's her name in there, Vanessa
Soul
Williams and Mackay. What's the brother who was in jail? Mackay Pfeiffer, I think. And that there was filmed in Chicago, believe it or not.
told I looked like him, Shabaka.
Huh?
I used to get told I looked like Mekhi Phifer.
Well, man, you should have went to Hollywood, man. Be a stand-in for him, man. Could have made you some money.
Shit, I'm good on Hollywood.
Yeah, and it's a very, very weird ass place, you know. And I do remember the album by the OJs in 1975 because I had the album, you know what I mean. And Family Reunion, you know, it was a good song. And basically, what's happening is with all the shit.
It's a family affair. You had a lot of songs.
Sly Stone. That was Sly Stone. And Sly Stone, it's a family affair. I was never a fan of Sly Stone.
Yeah, but I did like that. I mean, I have other songs I liked, like Ordinary People. And
that one there, let me see. Ordinary People, wait a minute. You talking about Everyday People?
Yeah, Everyday People, yeah.
Okay, that there was made 1968, and because I'm pulling up memories now, and keep in mind the Stone family was a family act, okay, including Larry Graham. Wait a minute, you had Sly Stone, you had Cynthia, and you had Sister Rose, because one of them. Yeah, because one of them used to play the trumpet. You know what I'm saying? Sly Stone, you know, he was more of a damn integrationalist as opposed to a Pan-Africanist, is because when we did a StreamYard, I think we had mentioned Sly Stone was up there trying to talk that shit to Muhammad Ali, and that fool was so goddamn loaded. He did not know how close Ali was to hitting his ass. You see what I'm saying? And Ali just told him, look, man, you go on and do your thing, man, because Sly Stone was fucked up, man.
Yeah. But getting back to the reunion, Shabaka, I haven't attended a family reunion in like over 20 years. But yeah, they were
planning the family reunion this year out here in Las Vegas, you know what I'm saying? And it's not going to be too much because we did have a family reunion, although I didn't make it. In Chicago, all our family members, you know, on the Montgomery side of the family came together. You see what I mean? And what have you. And I really wish I could have. Then, and if you got elders in the family, go see them because they know worse, you know, the elder. Oh, well, you know, if you can.
Yeah, I miss my grandparents for this exact reason because they were definitely the glue that kept the family together, and they would make sure, you know, we had these events where we would come together, just for cooking or just for getting together and talking about, you know, family members, and past family members, and where they're going and who had a baby and all of that stuff. We don't do that no more.
And then to find out that I had a great great uncle who had a wife and 10 kids in Chicago and had a wife and 5 kids in Boston.
Damn. He was doing.
Yeah, you see, he was working them railroads. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, he was working the railroads because as everybody knows that Chicago was the railroad central of the nation, because if he was going from, say, New York to Los Angeles, he damn sure was going through Chicago.
Yes.
You know, there's where they would switch to trains and stuff like that. You would have to be very, very careful not to get off the.
Well, it was the railroad system that brought the porters and waiters. That's how the porters and waiters got to Denver.
Yeah. Well, that's where you get off into your man A. Philip Randolph, and then just like we had that idiot who was trolling us, and we was talking about the Southern Pacific Railroad that goes all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, all the way to Los Angeles, California. That is where you got the infamous folklore story.
Right. On the railroad.
all the railroad day, and then you talk about where the Chinese built the Union Pacific Railroad, which is more bullshit to find out that they only built the motherfucker from San Francisco to Provo, Utah.
They built a piece of it, Shabaka, but it was like you said, the Southern Pacific Railroad is what generated the commerce for decades, not centuries. So,
yeah. Right.
And they were say this, so I don't want to hear nothing about no goddamn Chinese building any goddamn thing.
Oh, and by the way, too, as that Donald Duck, you know, just a tidbit out here. I don't know if you got it yet. I know it's not on the itinerary. He's talking about reopening up Alcatraz in the middle of Frisco Bay.
Yeah, we talked about that weeks ago, Shabaka, but yeah.
Yeah, and he should do the honorable thing, and he should fly to Alcatraz on the jailbird. You know what I'm saying? Land the jailbird on Alcatraz Island, and resume his presidency from there. And also, too, you know, this just came across the desk this morning saying that the Trumpster is having some health issues. So we'll save that one there for our next presentation because the story is still unfolding. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Tomorrow on Front Line Blacc News. But getting back to these family reunions, FBA is the only people that have family reunions. And the reason why we had them is because many of our family members are separated during slavery. So when after slavery, it was our way of trying to bring the family back together.
Right.
Have family reunions.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad to see that they're on a decline. I know several families, like Bianca's family had a family reunion last year. A couple other people I know, they have family reunions in the past couple of years where their whole family came out. And
and how's the cat doing?
Oh, Noche doing the most.
Yeah. Still doing the cat.
Get out the damn house. And he got in trouble for that. And he sprayed the apartment. He got in trouble for that. So Noche doing the most. Noche being a bad kitty.
Being a bad kitty. Well, it's still a black cat. You know what I'm saying? And what have you.
Breaking news said 3 dead after explosion at Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department training facility. Ooh.
That's great news.
That is great news.
Great news. Great news. Great news. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
We're going to have to touch on that on the Front Line Blacc News tomorrow.
Training facility. Now, how the hell would they have an explosion there at the LA County Sheriff's Department? Hey, Twin, if you could find the exact location, man, I might could shed some light on where it's at. Because I wonder, now, is that there up there, Wayside, man, or is it down there at the Twin Towers?
Search it. Well, Twin, can you drop the link? You should be able to drop links in the chat. Let me see if I can pull this up. Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. Okay, I got explosion reported. Yep. This is hot off the presses. Explosion at LA County Sheriff's Department facility leaves 3 dead. Sources says.
Damn. Okay, what's the address to it?
It's in Monterey Park, Shabaka.
Monterey Park.
Yeah, in East LA.
Okay, Monterey Park is its own separate city, which is east of East LA. That's very interesting. I wonder how that happened.
Somebody
Asians.
Yeah, the Asians might have blew up the facility. I don't know. Remember the Asian blew up the facility? Remember the Asian had blew up that fertility for clinic in Palm Springs a couple months ago.
Damn. And Palm Springs is the exact opposite of Denver, Colorado. You guys up there with them GMO ponies a mile high.
Broncos got
and Palm Springs is a mile below sea level, and the alkaline out there is real bad, man. You know.
I got on my boy about your team. He had his hat on, and I said, "Oh, you're a Raiders fan?" And he got mad at me.
Well as he should be a Raider fan.
No, I don't think he's a Raiders fan, but he had the hat on.
That's a nice hat.
I disagree agreeably.
Ponies, man. You know what I'm saying?
Ponies.
Well, next month is preseason.
And we don't play you scrubs. We don't play y'all till November.
Okay. Well, then we play the second game in regular season.
We don't play until November.
Okay, I know that, Brother Che, but we have 2 games in the AFC West.
Who's joining us? Is this Sister Bianca or Sister? Oh, brother Michael. How did you get the link? Oh, I put it in the chat. Hey, Michael. Michael got an update on reparations, Shabaka. So I'm gonna bring him up. Okay. Salute, Michael. Grand risings to you. Is this in time for Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Chase?
Yeah. Hi, Jason Shabaka. How you guys doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fine, Michael, and yourself, man. I'm feeling real bad, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, the physical pain that I'm in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I hope you're taking good care of yourself and staying strong and healthy.
Yeah, what I'm doing, man, is I spend a lot of time on my back, man. You know, getting up in age, you know, I only leave the house when I have to, you know, which really isn't healthy because I should get out there, man, to try to stay active, but it's this pain, man. It's this pain. You know, it's
linked when I don't know what it's
let us know, man, when the Raiders and the GMO ponies play in regular season.
The Broncos, Shabaka, ain't no ponies. The Broncos play y'all scrubs in November. I want to say November 6th.
Okay, and when is the second game?
In December.
Okay, so in other words, we're playing each other like 3 weeks apart then.
Yeah.
Which is
anyways,
go ahead.
Sir. Yeah.
Reparations.
Anyways, I just want to give an update about reparations. So I emailed several members of Congress, and several members of Congress to meet with them about the April 20th meeting we had with them, delivering the reparations materials. And I did get a response from maybe, I don't know how many staffs I emailed. I think I emailed maybe like 20 or 30, don't off the top of my head. But I did get one response from one of the staffers, and she said that she wants to meet with me and NWSD on July 29th. Hopefully it's a virtual meeting because I know Friday Jones, Mark Stevenson, and several members, are like very busy, probably don't have time to come to the office, but at least a virtual meeting will be a good setup, right? And because I definitely want to follow up on the reparations materials to see if the stuffs are going to like draft legislation.
Yeah.
Based on Donald Trump's platinum plan.
Is it true Westmore vetoed another reparations bill?
I'm not sure I heard about it, but what I do know is that Westmore vetoed the reparations bill back in April. And I spoke to Andy Ellis. I inquired about it with Andy Ellis, and he told me that there's a good chance that the Democrats in the state of Maryland are going to probably override Westmore's veto on the reparations commission into law. And Westmore's response is that, hey, we don't need a study on reparations or additional studies. We need is reparative policies. Okay, great. But what does the reparative policies look like from a financial perspective? Is it going to involve cash payments? Is it going to involve direct tangibles? Because Westmore's proposal for reparations is let's do like a business entrepreneurship program and a housing and entrepreneurs and home ownership programs, but it does add
That makes
financial
sense.
value.
The typical Democratic trick bag.
Trick bag, exactly.
We're going to give you scholarships. We're going to give you free education. We're going to give you housing vouchers. Yeah, that's not reparations.
Yeah, it's not, because it's too late for people. I mean, for Black American women to develop wealth, that's too late already. It's going to take them several generations. Like what, 2060. By that time, will they be able to make it by 90 years old? And what Westmore doesn't understand is that the Black American women want cash payment reparations now, so that when they receive the cash, they can put it into like a retirement savings or invest in whatever like projects, and not wait for like Social Security checks, to come in when it's like too late, because the Social Security checks in today's economy, it's like nothing, and it can't really cover for Black American freedmen's retirement, and also because the pensions are much smaller. And I understand why Westmoreland is doing it, because he's trying to appease to like the white suburban voters in Maryland.
Yeah, because he's trying to run for president in 2028.
Yes, exactly. And so he knows that he needs those white voters in Maryland, and of course nationally.
How many white voters are in Maryland? I thought Maryland was a majority Black state.
Yeah, it's majority Black. Yeah, according to Naheem Way. I think I'm trying to remember. It's either voting or the demographics. I have to I would probably have to follow Naheem, but anyways, Naheem told me Maryland is about 30% Black Americans, and 60 or 70% of them vote for Democrats.
Oh man.
Yes.
Plantation.
Okay, but also to keep in mind that Maryland was also a slave state, so it has to be, man, a heck of a lot more than 30%, because Douglas lived in the slave trading pedophile that owned his family, because he had hit Fred with a whip, and Fred was working on him, felt pretty bad, and he had to jump ship. And that's how he became a seaman by trade, because you do know that Freddie D had permanently settled in San Francisco, California. They got a housing project there named after him. I passed right by it on one of them big, tall-ass hills, man, when I used to be able to walk hills when I was younger.
Right.
So I appreciate Freddie D. Love the way he smashed the slave trader, which is a great, beautiful thing. Okay, is because the slave trader is not your relative. You are his property. Period.
Right.
For what?
All right, let's see what Michael had to say.
Yeah. Also, by the way, and Jesse, I'm not sure you received my email, because Westmore was at the Essence.
Yeah, I seen that email. Somebody checked him about the reparations.
Yeah, and I put a comment too. I'm not sure you saw my comments in the link. I said to like one of the to the Black Maryland residents and non-Black Maryland residents, make sure you make sure that they contact their state assembly to override Westmore's veto on reparations.
Yeah, because they got votes to do it.
Exactly.
Okay,
yes.
Now I got a quick question right here,
Sure.
Michael. Okay. Now this is a Black man, right? The mayor of Maryland, which was a slave state, right?
Right.
And he vetoed a bill for reparations in the state of Maryland.
Correct, Shabaka.
Correct.
His ass belongs in a mental institution or jail.
Shabaka, he's Caribbean. That's why.
Yeah.
Delineating.
Right. Right.
Yeah. What isn't one of both of his parents from Jamaica?
Yeah. I believe both of his parents are from Jamaica.
Kingston.
And also Westmore. Also another update is because Westmore signed the Community Reinvestment Repair Act, and Andy Ellis told me that it's a start, but it's not a finish. And I told Andy Ellis it's not enough, because the Community Repair Investment Act, sir, even though it's targeted to Black Americans, but I feel like it's universal, because it's not giving the Black Americans like direct cash payments. I mean, sir, they're gonna get resources, right?
Yeah.
And Andy Ellis agreed with me that yes, cash payments need need to be part of the community repair reinvestment, because otherwise just having the community repair and reinvestment, sir, it may be good, but it's not enough to close the wealth gap. And that's why I told Andy Ellis, who's running for.
You got a point on that, Michael. If I want to interject this, okay?
Sure, go ahead.
I'm researching Ibrahim Traore, and the reason why I ain't mentioned it, Brother Chad, until I do my research, okay, is because
2025.
Donald Duck is going to tell the president of Liberia, it's good that you speak English, how you speak English so well, and as we all know, is that Liberia with slaves from the United States that went back to the continent, right? But Mike Wallace and Chris Wallace, you ain't shit. You'll never be like Daddy. Okay, let me say that. Mike Wallace is like Christine Amanpour. He touched all the unpopular stories. You know what I mean? So anyway, he had mentioned that the people of Liberia had claimed themselves to be descendants of Americans, right? James Monroe was the president when they went to Liberia, right? But it's very, very interesting, and I think I showed you the clip there, Brother Chad, of where the five sisters from the various African nations. She says that she's from Liberia, she's not Senegalese. The sister from Ghana, she's from Ghana, she's not from Senegalese. And then the last girl, she's the Senegalese. You know what I'm saying? Now, as Dr. Marimba Ani said, Michael, are you familiar with Dr. Marimba Ani by any chance, Michael?
As a matter of fact, I'm not familiar with her.
Okay. She did a writing, okay, where she submerged herself in African culture for 15 years, believe it or not. And she came up with the term Ma'afa, meaning a disaster is bad. It is beyond description. So what I did was I followed her on Twitter, and I'm trying to open up the correspondence with her, you see, because she was a student of the one and only Dr. John Henry Clark. Dr. John Henry Clark had made the statement that anytime that you get OTB joining Black organizations, their mission there is not to enhance the group, to tear it down from within. Now, guess what group that happened with? And was really a damn.
The original Black Party.
Exactly. Check the original Black Panther Party.
All right, so I was gonna play this clip real quick, Shabaka.
I'm sorry.
In Westmore on the reparations veto that Michael sent.
Okay, is this something, man, that's gonna make me want to tear up my laptop, man?
It might, Shabaka. I had watched it once, so it might. So this is at the Essence Fest, the same Essence Fest that we've been ratting and raving about, because it's a tether fest now. It's not.
Yeah, because Gillespie sold it, right?
Yeah, he sold it to Time Warner, and then Time Warner sold it to Two Tethers.
Yeah, big mistake, just like with fucking Ebony. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, really sad.
With the governor of Maryland, Mr. Westmore, how you feeling, sir?
I'm blessed, man. It's great to be here with you.
And being home, right? Being home, and you being in Maryland, and us coming down here, us meeting together, it's hilarious to me. But what, outside of the obvious, what brought you down here?
Well, what comes down here is, this is one of the greatest celebrations of Black love and of excellence that we have in the country. Every single year, Essence has been going out and celebrating what makes our culture and our community so strong and so powerful. And especially on a day like tomorrow, which is the 18th anniversary for me and my wife, I was like, what better place to celebrate 18 years of Black love than the Essence Festival? So we're excited to be down here.
Come on, Black love. We love to see it. Now, Black love, right? And you also are part of the Black Economic Forum.
Yes.
Right? But both y'all going to speak it. So what to you is Black economic power?
It's wealth. It's wealth. It's understanding that we've got to focus on ownership, right? I don't just want to be a part of a conversation. It's ownership, right? And it's about what are we doing to create more homeowners? What are we doing to create more Black-owned businesses? What are we doing to make sure that we can own more than we owe? right? So we are focused in the state of Maryland of truly creating pathways for work, wages, and wealth. And you cannot have one or two if you're not also making sure you're incorporating the third, which is wealth. And so for me, that is freedom. Freedom is wealth.
And what you just said, right, kind of sounds like to me how, the reparations bill, or, people felt a little way about it. But what you said made sense, right? At this point in time, it's about, you can't do no more, surveys. You got to be action.
That's
right?
it. I mean, the big focus for me is that we have a whole litany of scholarship on this issue. We've got reports, we've got analysis, we've got more data on this issue now than ever historically before. What we need right now is action. And I think about the work that we've done just in the past 2 years of our administration. We've invested over $1.3 billion in our HBCUs in the state of Maryland, which is a 60% increase than what we saw before. That we have now created thousands of new Black homeowners, that we have done procurement reform and invested over $800 million in Black-owned businesses through state contracts in the state of Maryland, that I just signed legislation that's focusing on allocating $400 million going towards communities that have been the victims of historic redlining and mass incarceration and urban development, which basically wrecked the history of Black communities, and saying those communities that are the front of the line.
Yeah, Chicago and Los Angeles, classic example.
I am proud of the work that we've done, and everyone knows no state in the country is moving like Maryland right now. And the truth is, what we need is action. And I don't need 2 or 3 years for more analysis on this issue. We need to move right now.
All right, man. Like, that's how you end it. That's how you end it, good sir. I appreciate your time.
Okay. So I agree with him about that. We do need more action, but Westmore, dude, just trying to save face. Like I said, you're trying to run for president in 2028. So, and how many of those businesses, FBA businesses, how many of those FBA homeowners, how many of those benefactors of these laws and proposals that he's passed, how many of them are actually benefiting from that FBA? That's what I would like to know.
Yeah, and I'll say this from Westmore's under Westmore's administration. Yeah, the home prices in Maryland are increasing, and unfortunately, disproportionate Black American freedmen are being priced out of purchasing decent homes. And so for Westmore to mention about that what he did for the state of Maryland for Black Marylanders, he's really talking at the surface level, but it's not talking about what's happening substantially, like no data. And he's only talking because, like you said, Jesse, to save his face, and also running for re-election, and of course 2028, and also under Westmore, nothing has changed really. The state government actually the states cut employment or cut jobs for for mostly Black Marylanders, and so he's really not that different from the mayor of Philadelphia. I'm sure you heard about that, right? What happened in Philly?
Enlighten me though, because I heard.
Yes. So what happened was the city workers in Philadelphia wanted a raise in pay, right? And so they were proposing, I think, I'm trying to remember, I think it was like 3% over 4 years. And the city workers said no, they wanted like 8% to maybe 10% in pay raises for picking up trash, doing sanitation work.
Yeah, right, because their trash is piling up real bad.
Exactly. And so when I saw the mayor was trying to negotiate or kind of stall, it kind of reminds me of Westmore. Like both of them are not that different. Yeah, they were elected to really preserve the corporate structure, the corporate left wing of white supremacy, and say, we hear you, we get it, but right now let's have a conversation about salary increases. And the Philadelphia workers said, no, there's no need for negotiation. We're going to boycott or not show up to work. And they had every right to do it. And so Yeah, and so the mayor of Philly, she was like very emotional. I mean, don't know why she was so emotional about it, right?
Oh, I saw that. I saw that clip on her. If I may interject too,
Go ahead, sir. Yeah, you can interject.
Okay, now with trash piling up in Philadelphia, that's why I wish Mad Doctor was still here with us. 'Cause that's where he was from, right? And that humidity, okay, with that bacterium, okay, that there ain't nothing but an incubator, man, for bacteria because it's humid back there. Now, if it was out here in the wild wet, you know what I'm saying? You know, the heat will deteriorate a lot of that bacterium. But you see, but the humidity, that's why I cannot stand humidity because it is an incubator for bacteria. It really is. You see, so this might be some systemic biohazard shit. You see what I mean? And this is why, Brother Chad, I'm going to reach out once again to Dr. Parks. You know what I'm saying? And what have you, because you know she's very, very heavy. You know what I'm saying? And also too, Michael, if you can, man, you know, in your spare time, because you know you contribute greatly, you know, to the platform. If you could pull up contact information on Dr. Marimba Ani.
Dr. Marimba. Okay. If you could put in the chat section the name, then I can.
Yeah, it's in there. Yeah, it's up there. It's up there at the top.
Okay. Michael said Westmore is against cash payment reparations for Black Marylanders of chattel slavery. He falls very short on substance, and he needs to after 2026. Although home ownership and entrepreneurship programs are important, they don't address the root cause of the wealth gap between white Marylanders and Black Marylanders. Very well said.
And this is the same shit they did in Los Angeles too. And keep in mind, but we do not have a stronghold in Los Angeles. You see what I'm saying?
Dr. Marimba.
Yeah.
Twins, your sincere contributions, Michael.
Oh yeah, yeah. You guys welcome. I try my best to contribute as much as I can.
Yes.
And as well as I provide like additional like updates.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's good, man. Also, too,
Texas.
And I'm asking.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, yes, sir. Okay. I also, too, I'm asking everybody to follow the like page of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on Facebook, because what had happened was, once again, they tore the daggone thing down, and I'm rebuilding it, man, and it's quite a pain. And my suggestion is, if you make a post up there, right?
You got to make it pre-approved, Shabaka. That's what I keep telling you. When you set the page up, you got to go settings and make it pre-approved. Otherwise,
okay, I'm gonna ask you, man, in our off time, man, for you to walk me through it, because we cannot afford to have that page tore down. Because the first one I had up there, man, we had 1,800 followers on there, Brother Jay, and that's where we was getting a lot of our listeners from, man, when we was doing the StreamYard and stuff like that. When we was doing Blog Talk Radio, you know what I mean? I think old Dumb Bunny Sarge had followed us from there. And Sarge, you lied to us, and I'm putting it out there, man. You gave us a bogus email address. You dumpster. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I'm putting it out there. Sarge, you know what I mean? Man, working napkin holders, talking about he's in a state where they jailed 5 governors. And Sarge talking about he ain't took no bribe money. I ain't going for that, man.
No, he's not in Illinois no more. But Shabaka got
that's right. I forgot he's down in the great state of Georgia.
Michael had another update for us. What's happening?
Go ahead, Michael. I'm sorry.
What's happening with the Texas Freedmen Bureau?
I'm so glad you asked about the proposed Texas American.
Yeah, they had Hot Wheels on there the other day.
Yeah, so I talked to so let me see. Let me pull up an email. I'll read you guys word for word. Just give me a second, please. Yes, okay. As a matter of fact, I followed with one of the staffers today and waiting response. Let me see. Okay, so this is what it says. Mr. Pan, good afternoon. Thank you for taking the time to speak with me over the phone. Um, your test email was received. Oh, sorry, no, no. Okay, let me put. Sorry, another email. Sorry, let me see. Let me. Okay, I have so many emails. Apologize.
It's all
Okay,
good.
got it. Got it. Okay, perfect. This is what Anthony Orellano said to me. Mr. Pan, thank you for your correspondence. We have received all submitted materials. Our office will review and discuss further, and we will present the proposed language in front of the member to determine if this is something we may work on for the 90th legislative session. Unfortunately, the bill language is not germane to Texas Governor Greg Abbott's call for the upcoming special session. Nonetheless, we will follow up with you in the coming weeks with any updates. Thank you for your understanding. Best Anthony Orellano, Senior Legislative Aide to Representative Barbara Gervin Hawkins, District 120, Appropriations Committee, Article 1-4V, Ways and Means Committee, Redistricting Committee, Legislative Tourism Caucus Chair, Texas Legislative Black Caucus Chair.
Mm. So
Yes,
this is a stalling tactic.
stalling tactic, right. Yeah, so then I emailed, I
It's like
followed up with him.
California.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Little disappointed, but I did follow up with him about what do you mean germane? And so I haven't
It's
received.
meaning important. It's not of the utmost importance to Abbott, to Governor Hot Wheels.
Mm-hmm. I
Hey,
see.
hey, okay, now just getting back to Texas politics a little bit, y'all.
Sure.
Ted Cruz, my man. Okay, Ted Cruz got into it with somebody. Who was it, man? You know, a couple of weeks ago, Ted did his thing again. And Ted Cruz, you and that reptilian party of yours deserves to go right straight to friggin' jail. But one thing, though, Senator Cruz, I will respect about you is when you popped your corona and told everybody to kiss your ass. That was beautiful.
Yeah,
And
he
then
did
he
that part of the pandemic.
yeah, and then he also got into it with another scene. I don't know if it was Tucker Carlson, man, and if we could pull that up where he had went off on somebody again. Okay, now,
Trying to pull that up.
you all talk about Cory Booker getting up there filibustering, you know, and Cory Booker looked like he was hitting some Hunter Biden stash, you
Yeah.
know. But the greatest filibuster that I saw with total and absolute complete bullshit was Ted Cruz talking about Disneyland. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
that was good. Now, my question is, when these guys sit up there and filibuster like for 24 hours, when do they go and piss and shit, or are they wearing Depends or diapers
It all
or what?
depends. Rocky. It all depends. But I gotta move us on along.
All
Thank
right.
you, hey Michael. I gotta continue the
Oh
topic.
yeah, you're welcome, Jesse. So I'll definitely, Jesse Shabaka, I'll definitely follow you guys if additional information does come up for reparations at the state, local, and national levels. But I'm still,
Oh, absolutely. And then
Yeah.
the last thing I want to say on reparations, okay, Brother Chase, emphasize what we've been emphasizing is reparations is not a handout. It is a debt that is
oh,
owed,
Oh,
okay?
it's a
And I
blood
got
debt
them,
that's owed.
huh?
It's a blood debt that's owed.
Oh, absolutely. And then not to mention, we're not going to talk about places like the Black Wall Street or the Devil's Punch Bowl. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Some of the most brutalization that went down. We're
We're
not going to
owed.
talk. Yeah, and we're not going to talk about of how they would castrate black men and rape black women. You know what I'm saying? And what was the story you did a while back? The buck breaking farms
Yeah.
that they had, and
Get a
then we
jury on
well,
it. So called buck working. Y'all should
yeah,
definitely check it out.
yeah, and then of course, and then you'll find out where the term MF came from because I don't want to say the word out. You
Yep.
see what I'm saying? Do some research on it. Now, for you OTBs out there, other than black, the black experience is not your experience. We don't care how many truck winches or bed winches that you violated. You see what I'm saying? Go look at a movie called Imitation of Life. That'll break your heart.
Yeah. Go look at Goodbye Uncle Tom too. All
Oh
right.
yeah, I finished that because I got to get my temperament, man, because I got to get through it. And then also too, another film to check out too, Brother Chapman said this because I know we got to continue. Is check out a movie called The Day That the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah, that's a good movie too. All right,
Yeah,
so
all right,
easy.
Jesse and Shabaka, I got it. Guys, gotta go. And Jesse, I'll definitely text you the phone number of Dr. Miranda so you could give it to Shabaka if it's okay.
Okay. Yes, that would be great. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right, thank you guys so much. Keep up the good work and keep up the fight.
You
Absolutely.
too.
All right.
Absolutely. Okay.
All right, so Kukizi, the brother that does our intro, he's gonna give us this update on why do tethers speak against reparations while eating off of us, eating off of what our ancestors created or built. So he had team's hat on, Shabaka.
He has what team's hat on?
He has your team's hat on. He gave me
he's obviously a very intelligent man.
I agree with the message. I just don't agree with the hat. But he didn't like that too much.
Man, what do you mean you don't agree with the hat, man? At least it's not GMO ponies.
It would have been better if it was the Broncos, but the message is still good nonetheless. So I'm gonna play what he had to say.
Let me address this anti-Black tether comment that we see every time reparations for foundational Black Americans is brought up. You know the type. Somebody saying reparations for who was a recent slave and all of that. You know. First of all, reparations are not for who was a slave recently. Reparations are about the compounded wealth, theft, the compounded disadvantage, and the inherited debt that this country owes foundational Black Americans. America's wealth was built by stolen Black labor, cotton, sugar, tobacco. That wealth helped power the Industrial Revolution. Wall Street, Ivy League schools, and government institutions. None of that happens without our ancestors. Just because the last plantation was closed down 150 years ago, that don't mean the harm ended. We lived through government-backed redlining, convict leasing, Jim Crow, mass incarceration, and ongoing employment and wealth discrimination. Immigrants that come here to get jobs, start businesses with SBA loans, those are opportunities paid for by our blood, sweat, and lineage.
Right.
And you tethers are eating off the table, trying to disrespect the chef, though.
Right.
This is why we delineate. We are not the same. Foundational Black Americans have a justice claim, and no off-code tether who has a dusty opinion is going to block what we already got in motion.
Right.
The money lives, and we are coming to collect.
That's right. Easy. What's your thoughts on Shabaka? Go ahead, Shabaka. What's your thoughts on what Kukizi just said?
Okay, I agree with him to a point. Okay, but however, though, when he was talking about the wealth that was part of generation after generation that built up the goddamn gross national product in the U.S., that is a fact. He is absolutely correct on that. Is because, like you said, cotton, whiskey, sugar cane. Let me see. Then all the patents that they had stolen from us. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Say, and I would debate with any ass scratcher, any Yasa boss, you know what I'm saying, who think we're not old reparations. Follow the like page of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, okay? You can come up there and talk, disagree with me all you want, but as soon as you get to cussing and what have you, I'm going to block your ass because I'm not going to have that page tore down again. shit, I'm still in the process of rebuilding it.
Right.
And man, it's a job, you know. But they did it on purpose, and you can follow it too, twin. You know, Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced, and the way you could tell you on the right page. I got the sunrise back up on it on the background page, and then also too, you will see Lamert Park over there, and then Los Angeles rebuild Lamert Park, because when I went through there the last time, I almost broke down and cried.
Yeah, I know the feeling, Shabaka. That's how I feel about the 5 points. The same way that you feel about Lamert Park, that's how I feel about the 5 points here in Denver.
Now, the thing is about the 5 points that I found very interesting when I was visiting through there. I remember they had the picture up there of where Sonny Liston was training at Fern Hall. I remember they had the picture up there, the sisters up there with the bathing suit contest and stuff like that, and what have you. So, you know, Denver, Colorado, you know, does hold some significant Black history in it. You know what I'm saying? And then, not to mention the fact,
first Black freedman born in the state of Colorado. I found this out through another content creator by the name of Beatzilla, whose family is originally from Denver as well.
Okay. And then, by the way, too, that was good seeing them buckets get eliminated at the NBA championships.
Got eliminated before us. I wouldn't even talk. Y'all got eliminated in the first round.
Yeah, well, the Lakers have been sold. The Lakers have been sold.
Y'all. So I wouldn't even be talking. We took the broom out and just swept y'all.
Well, they had to rebuild the team, man, because, you know, old boy, man, who owns the Dodgers, he bought the Lakers. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And they retaining Jeannie Buss, but she's only going to get like 15%. So if any damn thing, I think they just got her for their transition. Because as you know, in big business, to transition a business of that magnitude takes about a couple of years, because they got to go through all the files, initial all this, taxes, the whole 9 yards, you know what I'm saying? And as we had stated before, as that Black people in the United States need to be owning these professional teams, just like that asshole who said of the Washington Commanders, well, if you coloreds don't like what we're doing right here, form your own leagues. You're right.
Well, shout out to Ice Cube and shout out to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for doing exactly that.
Oh, and you do know that Dwayne Johnson is the son of the wrestler of the 70s, Rocky Johnson, because I remember they used to have wrestling at the Olympic Auditorium. I think it used to come on, man, every Thursday night, I think. And then I remember they used to have boxing from the Olympic too. And, you know, you had a lot of great boxing champions that came up through there as well.
I wish Jay Millie was in here because he's an avid wrestling fan.
Oh, yeah.
All the history like that. Like, you can break down all the history. He can break down all the history too. All right, so moving along, we got ChatGPT. I know you can't stand it, Shabaka, but ChatGPT had this to say about reparations. So Lisa Cabrera is going to give us an update on that.
Okay.
Fast forward. All right, come on, Lisa.
Ladies and gentlemen, this time around, I went to ChatGPT to inquire about chattel slavery and if we were indeed entitled to reparations. And it definitely gave me an answer. So I'm going to let you listen to that answer.
Yes, many legal scholars, historians, economists, and civil rights leaders argue that the descendants of enslaved Black Americans are absolutely entitled to reparations based on historical injustice, generational harm, and continuing systemic discrimination. Here's a breakdown of the why, the how, and the legal and moral justification. Why reparations? 1. Chattel slavery, 1619 to 1865, enslaved Africans were treated as property for 246 years. Their labor created immense wealth for American agriculture, banks, universities, and the federal government without compensation. 2. Broken promises.
You're right.
After slavery, the U.S. promised 40 acres and a mule, Special Field Order Number 15, which was revoked. The U.S. government has never fulfilled any formal reparations deal. 3. Jim Crow and Racial Terror, 1865 to 1965. A century of legalized segregation, lynching, voter suppression, redlining, and systemic exclusion followed emancipation. 4. Ongoing economic harm. Black Americans today continue to face a massive racial wealth gap. White families have 6 to 10 times the wealth of Black families. Higher unemployment, lower access to capital health disparities, housing discrimination, and more legal and moral precedents. Other groups have received reparations, group reason payment. Japanese Americans, Dusui internment, $20,000 per survivor, 1988. Holocaust survivors, Nazi Germany atrocities, 89 billion plus from Germany Native American tribes. Broken U.S. treaties, 1.3 billion plus in settlements. 9/11
Freeze that for a
victims.
second.
Terror
You
attacks,
just
7
brought me
billion fund.
a memory
Why
bank.
not Black Americans whose oppression?
Okay. There was a film, Turn Back the Hands of Time. Let me see. It was either the late 60s or the early 1970s, where this guy by the name of Tom Laughlin had played the title
Which
character
one,
of
man?
Billy Jack.
I think it's my great cousin. The one in the
Okay.
middle.
All right. And getting back to Tom Laughlin, and he was married to a woman by the name of Dolores Taylor. They both transitioned, and he made a film called Billy Jack. And he was definitely talking about, how all the treaties was broken to the Native Americans. You see what I'm saying? Now, as you all know, Val Kilmer recently passed, and Val Kilmer made a movie called Thunderheart about how they had found uranium on the Native American land, right? And the plot is that there was a murder of a guy, let's say for all practical purposes, like Leonard Peltier, right? So he investigated it, and then they had the elder in there. I forgot his name, but you would see him in all the Clint Eastwood movies, like Outlaw Josie Wells, right?
Yeah, you take no
And
matter.
so to make a long story short, it just showed, of how America, with its barbaric traditions, had went out there and they had killed this man, who was Native American, that found out the plot. So therefore, they had went in. So anyway, to make a long story short, all the Native American tribes came together and they went there and safeguarded the place. Now, if only Black people did that.
Well, if the Black Aboriginals did that, then we wouldn't even be in this position that we're in. But let me finish ChatGPT.
Now you're gonna have to
Built
educate
the
me
country's
on that.
foundation. Support for reparations. The UN has stated the U.S. owes African Americans reparations for racial terrorism. Economists like Dr. William Darity, Duke University, have developed detailed reparations models, including cash payments and land. House Resolution 40 is a bill to study and develop reparations proposals, stalled in Congress for decades. Common misconceptions debunked. Nobody alive today was a slave, but the benefits and harm from slavery persist across generations. Inheritance, land theft, and structural exclusion matter. It's impossible to calculate. Experts have estimated reparations costs ranging from $10 to $17 trillion. With scalable, practical options available, it's not fair to other groups. Reparations are not about guilt. They are about justice and restoring stolen opportunity, just as it was for other wronged groups. Final word, yes, the descendants of enslaved Black Americans are owed reparations for centuries of unpaid labor, economic theft, and state-sanctioned racial violence. This is not charity, it's justice delayed.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard the answer. And I agree with that answer. And ultimately, we're going to end up with everything, whether these folks like it or not. Their time is up. They were never promised no permanent leadership. Thank goodness. So their leadership is coming to an end. And I'm telling you, when it does, you will hear the biggest party go on across the earth. I think everybody will be relieved at that point.
Right.
But yes, reparations is owed, and promises were broken, and they never tried to make good on it because they really, like the Bible verse say, hold themselves not guilty. But at the end of the day, you have to cough it all up, whether you like it or not. There are stories on many Americans are leaving because they find America unaffordable and feel like they can't make it here anymore. So they're looking elsewhere to live. And then you got a very divided country. I don't know why you call yourself United States. There's nothing united about this country at all, nor has it ever been united. So you don't even live up to your name. So how do you expect to hold on to something that technically you would never have had if we didn't get punished by our Heavenly Father? But y'all, please tell me what you think about this video.
All right, Shabaka, tell me what you think about this video.
Okay, as we stated before, reparations is a debt that is owed. Now, I'm not gonna cuss. Okay, some individual, obviously who wasn't of African descent, made the statement to pay us reparations is like paying for an illegitimate child, right?
Well,
And
they're
I
the
would have
original
taken.
fathers. I would have hit them with, and yeah, y'all the original deadbeat fathers. Y'all raped all these Black women, had all these children with them, and refused to take them. So y'all the original deadbeat fathers, cockazoid.
Yeah, absolutely. But keep in mind, rape, rather institutional, physical, mental, extortionary, is an act wrong within itself. You say, because as you know, because you study more law than me, you got acts that goes against statutes, right? Then you got acts that are wrong within themselves, and rape is one of them. You see what I mean? And then for them to sit up there and tell us, well, you people need to get over it. No, what you, how should I say, cave dwellers need to do is to bring your ass out here in this 118-degree heat that's going to be happening today out in this desert and sit out in the sun and get your justice. You see what I'm saying? Seriously.
They gonna
Seriously.
bake like lobsters, Shabaka.
Yeah, probably worse than that, you know? And
them too.
So,
You know how they scream. You know how they scream when you put them in the water. That's what
and
they're
then
gonna be.
keep in mind, as you had pointed out, is that that they did not believe in bathing. They thought it was a sin.
They thought it was a sin due to the Catholic Church and their
Yeah. And then I also found out too, man. You know, like how they used to have the bouquet of flowers for the bride at that time. You know what that bouquet of flowers was there for, don't you?
Because to cover up the funk.
Exactly. You say exactly. You see what I mean? Exactly. Yeah, no. And then
so ChatGPT got this right, Shabaka.
Okay, and then Okay. Yeah, they got it right. But like I said, I don't think I'll see it in my lifetime, man, because you got too many ass scratching coons out here, that's going to be on puppet strings to their white masters. You see what I'm saying? To go against it. And I mean, it's just incredible of how they can program the mindset of a Negro to go against his self-interest. You know what I'm saying? Now, Twin, explain to me of how this computer is 99% accurate.
Because it has access to all the databases, Shabaka. It has
Well,
access
as
to
we all know, a computer only knows what it's been fed. I mean, it can't reason, it can't think on its own.
regular computers, though, Shabaka. These are supercomputers. So they have access to more information than any other computer has ever had.
That's interesting. Okay.
All right, so moving on to these goddamn tethers. We got another tether in our midst.
Now, who is this imbecile?
I forgot her damn name, but she's a Caribbean cosplayer, Cappin. So Tariq gonna give us an update on it. She was giving this long, drawn out speech about how we're all Africans and we just need to embrace being African. And she's sitting up here being a Caribbean, but she's trying to cosplay like she's a Black American, and she got exposed. So Tariq's gonna give us an update on that.
All right. Okay.
Fast forward. Get to the next.
Existed in Europe, and the West has never let them forget it. Across the globe united to demand reparations from the West. We could end this empire today. I don't know what the it is with this weird ass obsession that Black Americans have with holding ourselves and the fact that we are descendants of slaves over everybody else. But I just want to remind y'all that there are descendants of slaves, African descendants of slaves, all up and down the Americas, baby. As a matter of fact, the majority of enslaved African people didn't even come to these shores. They went to the shores of the Caribbean and South America. People love to uphold
like
Black
Brazil.
American resistance as the crown jewel of all African resistance. And let me tell you, okay, we owe a lot of thanks to our brothers and sisters in Haiti and Jamaica, because without them revolting when they did, we would not have been free when we were. The Haitian Revolution literally destabilized the Western Empire that existed in Europe. And the West has never let them forget it, which is why they're in debt right now. While y'all boast about the profitability of Black American culture, our tax dollars are literally being used to bomb children in Somalia. They are being used to work with Kenya so that we can have boots on the ground in Haiti. Your tax dollars are going to AFRICOM that is actively trying to destabilize the Sahel states that are looking for independence from the West right now. So if
that's Ibrahim Traore.
On this land makes you more exceptional than other Black people, if you think that being born on this land means that you get to have all of your comforts on the backs of African people all across the world, then congratulations, you've officially been assimilated into the American identity. Pat yourself on the back. If you made it this far into the video, go ahead and comment a middle finger emoji, because America and its exceptionalism, bitch.
All right, we are in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Respect to you. Respect to the law. Glad to have everybody in the mix for the tap in, ladies and gentlemen. If you can give me a nice retweet, that would be absolutely phenomenal. A retweet would be absolutely lovely. And before we get started, the atavists, we have the proto I'm talking about, if y'all follow me. She's a Democrat shield. She's been around in a couple of years. We've been calling her and her little shenanigans out. She's one of them people who show up to the protests that they would put out. They would push these people out there, stepping over the dead bodies of Black men to push other agendas. We out here stomping for justice, and then they'll have people like her show up talking about Black trans matter and Black immigration matters. So as we know, we are in the middle of a foundational Black American Renaissance right now. This Renaissance is making everybody accountable. This is waking everybody up. It's shaking the table. It is making us and putting us in a position to demand justice. We're getting extremely codified. We're not being generic, boundaryless, borderless, undefined, generic Negroes no more. We are being very specific about who we are, what our lineage is, and what we should get based on the specific harms and injustices done to us. So we are setting the rules and putting the boundaries up, as we should have been doing a long time ago. This has made the Democrats crash and burn, and their operatives are kind of crashing out. So now their operatives are going to have to change their tune. So we're seeing it in real time. We're seeing the Democrat operatives try to change the tune now, because the renaissance for foundational Black American lineage, it's too powerful, it's too strong, and ain't no going back.
Too black.
Too much momentum behind it. The genie is out of the bottle. You can't put a genie back in the bottle. So now what they're doing, they're trying to be slick with the words. They're trying to be very, very slick and deceptive while still having their anti-FBA resentment on the background. So this chick, this woman, she made a video talking about us, descendants of slaves, and we Black Americans, and us using a lot of French. We, because I guess she don't think that we remember who she is, but she did a video talking about, yes, us who are descendants of slaves. Now she was being very deceptive because we know she's Jamaican. She's Jamaican and Panamanian. She's a tether. And not because she's Jamaican and Panamanian, she's a tether because she's a foreigner and she does little slick deceptive shit. Okay. So she was up here talking about, yeah, we and us, and we over here, we Blacks in America should give thanks to Jamaicans and Haitians because they led revolutions that inspired everybody over here. Pause. See, when they start doing that, I'm telling you, that's Tether 101. That's Tethering 101. And look, I did a movie about the Haitian Revolution.
Yep.
So I know the Haitian Revolution inside out, and I know the ramifications from it. And I give props what props are due. But a lot of these folks try to use this talking point that the Haitian Revolution was a great thing for us over here at the time. The reality is it really wasn't. Now, she mentioned in her video that the Haitian Revolution, it destabilized the Western powers in Europe. It shook Europe up a little bit, but the thing is, France had to sell off their piece of the French territory, the Louisiana territory over here. That wasn't a good thing for us because it expanded slavery. The U.S. acquired that territory for $15 million and said, hey, let's get some more plantations popping. You feel me? So that they expanded slavery. They said, hey, let's get some of these Negroes over here. Let's get them over here in Louisiana. Let's get them over here in St. Louis. Let's get them over here in these areas. So it expanded slavery. So we got to be very clear when these people use these deceptive talking points. And also she was talking about, yeah, if you think being born on this land makes you feel like you're more exceptional than other Blacks, well, you just accepted Americanism and F America. And she does all of that, F America, and oh, you shouldn't be patriotic to America. America ain't shit and all that stuff. While you're over here. And people have been calling her out. People have been digging up her background. Again, we've known about this woman for a minute. So because people are on her bumper, because we're just not letting the tether class talk all that crazy talk. Everybody's getting checked. So the tweet's just really crashing out. So that F Tariq, you have to throw my name in the mix. F y'all. This is all of you guys, by the way. This is all 43 million of us. F y'all American flag waving, tap dancing, wannabe white supremacist ass nigger. And F any of you bitches that support ICE. So boy, she's just crashing out. Now remember, this is a Caribbean tether. She has in her, when she's talking, she had a big Jamaican flag in the background. Now, family, let's unpack this, because notice it's always these people, that tether class, always trying to tell us how we should be non-patriotic. They always come to us telling us, yeah, America don't love you. Why you like America? Why you holding up that flag? That's the flag of white supremacy. The white folk don't even like you. Why you like that? Why you like America? Why y'all claiming this imperialistic while you're here? That's the thing. You're here. Why are you sitting your ass up here if you're telling me all this? This is a little mind fake thing that they try to pull. So they do that to try to undermine foundational Black American ownership and ancestral ties to this land. Don't let these people run that Jedi mind trick. When people constantly try to tell foundational Black Americans, well, America hates you. You crazy to rep this country. They do that to our good sister Beyonce. They try that with her. They're trying to strip us of our foundational Black American moral and historic claim to the land. We are soil-connected people of America by blood, bones, labor, without immigrant assimilation, all right? We're from the soil. And we can embrace our unique Americanness. We are the soil. It ain't embracing the damn white people. That's how they think. That's their mindset. Yeah. So the thing is, when we realize this, they know we understand our position here. We are heirs to the land. We're not guests like them. And see, that poses a threat to those who come over here by choice and who want to access resources, narratives, and opportunities that's rooted in foundational Black American struggle. Stop letting people run that little Jedi mind trick game. We got to check that nonsense. Because see, what they want to do, family, they want to try to create a psychological vacuum so that these tethers can fill that vacuum. See, if they convince us to emotionally and culturally detach from America, that creates a vacuum. And a vacant spiritual space can be filled by immigrant pride. See, these non-FBI operatives, they rush in to fill that void. They come in and uplift their whole immigrant identity and try to act like it's morally superior. And then come in here talking about we pulled ourselves up by the bootstraps. We came over here with $2 and we've been here for 2 years and we're doing better than these foundational Black Americans. So they cast us as defeated victims while they try to elevate themselves in America's political and racial hierarchy. And then they try to discredit the lineage that actually paid the price for the civil rights. See, that has to be checked. Yeah. And see, they also try to play this little Jedi mind trick on us, so that can basically prevent our nationalism and our pride of our lineage to become a big political force. See, foundational Black American pride and our American heritage, that threatens the political landscape and the political movement because it puts lineage-based justice on the forefront. And if we walk in that identity, and we fully walk into it, of being the true founders of this country, then we are positioned to basically demand specific policies, protections, and other tangibles based on that status. And the foreign operatives, they try to block that by shaming us into seeing America as something shameful. You watch people when they try to pull that. These are people that's getting paid under the table. And like this woman who was saying all that stuff, she's clicked in with all these white Democrat groups. So they're chipping her off. You understand? They love playing that little game on us so that they can sneak in on the low and get all the benefits for themselves. They know that they got like a little janky deal with the white supremacists. They know that they are working as a buffer group against us. They know that the white supremacists will give them some crumbs if they can sit here and stall us and sabotage us and undermine any claims that we have. That's why anytime we start talking about reparative justice and tangibles, it's always tethers jumping in the damn mix, telling us what we should and shouldn't get, coming in trying to waste time, coming in trying to divert and dilute the energy. Y'all notice that every time. And that's the reason. They know that they're doing that as watchdogs and guard dogs for the white supremacist. Yeah. So we have to watch all of that stuff. Because let's be real. Can we get deep, ladies and gentlemen? I want to get a little deep here. Can we get deep? If I can get deep, ladies and gentlemen, give me a thumbs up if I can get deep in here. And y'all give me a retweet, because I'm going to get a little deep right now talking about these tethers. What's up, Cousin Jerry? I see you down there. What's up, Brother McCall? Professor Alon, my lovely sister Brooke. I love Sister Brooke. Sister Brooke is a sweet. Sister Brooke is like my little guardian angel. Sister Brooke always comes through. Well, I don't even think she be knowing she looks out. Sister Brooke has saved some of our events, and I don't even think she realized it. A few weeks ago, boy, I had some tendonitis. Sister Brooke came through and recommended some those pills you recommended, Sister Brooke. Them shits work wonders. Sister Brooke recommended these pills. She gave me a link. I got these little pills from Amazon, and them shits work wonders.
Yeah. So you're giving Jeff Bezos money.
I love that sister to life. Let me tell y'all something. With the tether class, I want y'all to understand why we got to be very careful and why it is good that we have called out this stuff. Tethers, they like to act as colonizers when they get around foundational Black Americans. They take on the same disposition and mindset of colonizers. Just really study the tether class. Really study the tether class.
That's why it's called neocolonialism.
They do exactly what the European colonizers did when they showed up to a new land.
Those are
when the Spanish
neocolonialists.
showed up over here in the Western Hemisphere, what they do? They planted their flag. The first thing they did when they hit the shores, they would plant their flag. All of them did that. When Britain went to certain places, they planted their flag on the land right there on the beach. And they made an announcement. That was something that the Pope required when they showed up somewhere to the new land. Because of the doctrine of discovery, you had to make an announcement that you're claiming the land for Spain or you're claiming the land for Portugal. So that's what they do. The Spanish come, plant their flag, and they go to the natives and say, hey, look, my name is Columbus, and I thereby claim this
Columbus
land
was a damn Trump
for the crown of Spain. So they make an announcement. That's how they would usually do it. The tethers kind of do that too. Just like the European colonizers who raised their flag and claimed territory, the tether class, they come over here and they start instantly asserting their national identity of the place they fled from. Not in solidarity. They don't do this to say, hey, look, you are our brothers and we are our brothers. No. They do that in contrast of us. They come in and start throwing them flags around. They used to do it real heavy. They've chilled out now because we've been calling it out.
Yeah.
But instead of coming in and joining and saying we're going to be reinforcement, they come in and brag. This is Nigerian. Everything I do positive, this is Jamaican. Everything I do positive, this is Ghanaian. Everything I do positive, it is Haitian. That's them saying we're not like you. Not only are we not like you, what they're saying to us, we're better than you. That's what they're saying. And that mirrors the colonizers who did that when they brought that bullshit from Europe to try to claim superiority over the native population. Then what do the tethers do? They try to take over FBA spaces just like the colonizers. Colonizers don't usually build from scratch. They come in and basically hijack existing infrastructures. See, a lot of the tether class, they come in and insert themselves into movements, organizations, institutions built by foundational Black Americans, our civil rights organizations, diversity initiatives, Black studies departments, media platforms. And then when they get inside, what do? They started to push to reshape the message. They reshape the leadership. They reshape the agenda.
Yeah.
And that's usually away from foundational Black American specific concerns. Just like colonizers, they'll take over a native governance and replace it with imported leadership and foreign rule. Same thing. And it should be called out. We're calling this stuff out.
We call it out
because
all the time.
just like the European colonizers, see the tether colonizers,
Called out enough, Shabaka.
they attempt to do cultural erasure and rebranding. See, a classic tactic of colonization is renaming things.
Dealing with it right now.
You come in and rename the people.
We should have been calling this shit out 50 years ago, Shabaka. This should have been going on for 50 years, and it hasn't been called out enough. This is why we reached the point where it's a line drawn in the sand. But we're just not going to allow this no more.
Well, we need
you rename the land, you erase native culture. What do the tether class do to us? They always try to redefine stuff. When we tell them we're foundational Black Americans, what do? That is a hate group. That is a online internet. They always do little things to try to rename and redefine our lineage. That's colonizer shit.
Yeah.
You understand? They're always trying to remix and redefine what it means to be a Black person in America. Then they start using Pan-African slogans to try to minimize our Black identity, our foundational Black American identity. And then they'll start claiming what we created. Well, hip hop was from the Caribbean. Soul food came from the Yoruba people. Gumbo came from Africa. It is an African word. They come in colonizing.
I tried
everything we do and create. They say, well, that's African culture.
That's all.
And you are not FBA, nigga. You are really African. You see, that's a soft conquest. That's not something that is a positive, constructive thing. Because see, we got the Jedi mind trick pulled on us, thinking that if they come over and we just start putting everything in the Africa pot, well, then we're all going to share the benefits. No. It's been a con game. That's the con game that's been run on us. We think, okay, we need to all get our numbers up and then identify as one big global African. And then everything that we all do, we're all going to get to share. We're going to all benefit as one big African group. Has that been working? Only one side has been benefiting. Everybody comes over here and benefits off everything that we are stomping for, and there is no reciprocal benefits. Let's be real, it's not.
Been saying that.
And the white man ain't gonna reciprocate
we
shit.
We don't get nothing over in Africa. They ain't bringing nothing over here to us.
We don't care what the white man is reciprocating. We talking about these diasporic Africans that come over here and tell us that we're all African and we all just need to get along like a big old African family while they're taking credit for things that we have created, things that we have done. And then when they get a celebration, it's not a celebration for Africa. It's a celebration for Ghana. It's a celebration for Haiti. It's a celebration for Cuba. It's a celebration for Dominican Republic. It's a celebration for Panama. It's a celebration for anything but Africa. But yet they tell us that we all Africans and we all need to embrace that and what is the word? Share that with these other groups in the diaspora. No, we're not doing that no more. Our property
okay, now let me
not
ask you a question. Okay, now let me ask you a question, Brother Chad, and I think I already know your answer to this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if there was a Klux who needed a blood transfusion, right?
We already answered this question.
Would you give it to him? I would.
I would not.
I would.
I said no. I've already answered the question. times.
Okay.
I said no. But
Sarge said he would.
The Klux ain't got nothing to do with this. This is what the diaspora has brought to us. This is who they allowed to come over here. So that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. This cosplayer here, she was trying to make herself out to be a Black American when she's clearly not. And this is what we're checking. We're checking the tether class. We're not saying all immigrants are tethers. We're saying the ones that are tethers, they need to be checked. And since the riders in the diaspora ain't checking them, then we have to check them. That's all we're saying. You're not going to keep dumping your trash on us. We're not doing that. When you get a win, like I said, it's a win for Ghana. It's a win for Haiti. It's a win for wherever you're from. But when we get a win, it's supposed to be a win for all of Pan Africa. No, them days are over.
Am I being mean? Am I telling a lie? If I'm telling a lie, somebody please stop me. If I'm saying anything wrong, I would love to be corrected. But the reality is, family, we don't really benefit. Not only do we benefit and others do, we get undermined because what happens is
that's what that was.
These folks come in, infiltrate the institutions formed by foundational Black Americans. And then when they start taking over, everything becomes degraded. They infiltrate and then gut everything, and they're no longer useful to us. Right? Look at the organizations that these folks come in and infiltrate. The NAACP, it's a whole bunch of foreigners running that now. How's that working for us? How's the NAACP working for us today?
It's not.
Let's just be real.
Oh.
The Urban League. They done infiltrated that. Nothing. You go to the Urban League, they're talking about immigrants.
Yeah.
The Congressional Black Caucus.
A joke.
What have they done? And that's full of non-FBAs now.
Yeah.
How's that working for us? They literally don't do anything for us. I mean, nothing. But everything for immigrant groups.
Ask him, Shabaka. You'll have to get on one of his Twitter spaces.
Come on now. Look at all the institutions that they become a part of, and look what happens. Look at some of the HBCUs now. They're letting these folks, these foreigners, become the presidents of them. And all of a sudden, we get this massive immigrant enrollment. You got Mexicans and all of this stuff all up in the HBCUs now.
Yeah.
Just like we talked about that story the other day, somebody got deported or he got put in an immigration detention and the media tried to be slick. Oh, a Morehouse graduate got detained. Boy, the HBCU community is really up in arms. But they didn't say in the headline that the dude was a goddamn Hispanic. Just say that. Don't run the Jedi mind trick. The dude is Hispanic.
Right.
You see? But yeah, they get in these organizations and all of a sudden everything becomes degraded because there's another agenda. Look at Essence. That's why everybody's up in arms about Essence. Essence was great. The Essence Festival was great. The Tethers got their hands on it. It immediately started going to hell.
Yeah.
So we're not just making stuff up here. That's how colonizers do.
Mm-hmm.
That's on brand with colonization. Because see, the colonizers, they always assume a civilizing mission. They always claim they're bringing civilization to the savages.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the tether class, they have that same mindset. They try to come here and ignore all the savagery that was going on in their homeland and then come over here talking about how bad Black people in Chicago is. It's like Bushmeat Barrister, people like that. The Myron Gaines come over here complaining about Black culture. You see, that's a colonizer mindset. They exploit the resources built by the natives. Colonizers didn't really build new nations. They stole labor, stole land, and stole institutions. And a lot of these groups, they immediately like to tap into the fruit of the foundational Black American struggle. Affirmative action set-asides, housing programs, HBCUs, civil rights protection, and then act like they did it on their own. They benefit from the soil that foundational Black Americans watered with our blood, sweat, and tears.
That's right.
And then turn around and criticize the very people that made those benefits possible. That's exploitation. And the kicker is when they get here, just like colonizers, just like the European colonizers, they come over and then they form their own gatekeeping entities. See, the colonial powers, they always appointed certain ethnic groups or tribes to act as middlemen to reinforce colonial order. And some of the tethers, they come up in academia, the media, politics, specifically because they're not foundational Black Americans, because they're seen as less threatening to the white institutions. And they get rewarded for pushing this watered down Pan-African immigrant-friendly narrative. So these people, they gatekeep scholarships, gatekeep media narratives, try to gatekeep movement leadership, and block foundational Black Americans from receiving our due. You see? And then they gaslight resistance, and then they demand gratitude. See, colonizers would brutalize the indigenous people and tell them to be grateful for the railroads and the religion, the schools they brought. So when we now push back against the immigrant overreach, when they start crossing boundaries and crossing lines they shouldn't cross, and we start checking their cultural disrespect, they start telling us, well, we got to be happy that they're here because we need their numbers because we can't do it by ourselves. It's too little of us, and we can't be divisive, and we can't be xenophobic. And no, we're not going for those tactics no more. We are not doing that. Let me get Professor Allen in the building. Professor Allen in the building. Professor Allen in the building. What's up, brother? Professor Allen, unmute your microphone, sir.
Hey, what's going on, Tariq? I just wanted to back you up. You're so true. So much I want to say. I want to first, let's go to Haiti. When we're during the Haitian Revolution, the issue is the colonizer mindset amongst immigrants. So as you are aware, Dessalines and Toussaint Louverture gave their life to free the Haitians and give them their own country, right? So what happened? According to Dr. J. Carruthers, page 107 of The Irritated Genie, which I recommend everybody buy, he says the motivation for the murder of Dessalines was doubtlessly complex, as indicated above, since it involved a relatively large number of plotters and followers to carry it out. There were two prominent strands involved with the motivation pattern: those who were simply greedy and those who wanted to gobble up as much wealth as possible at the expense of the masses, who further wanted to reestablish a semi-slave system. They wanted to enslave each other. They made a deal with the French to re-enslave. Oh no, I want to be the slave master. And the last thing I wanted to say comes from Dr. Claude Anderson talking about West Africa. He says, having escaped the Portuguese slavery based upon their lighter skin, the Berbers joined the Arabs and became the first modern people to create a continuing commercial demand for a large number of Black slaves. Ain't that a mess? The Berbers were enslaved. They got out of slavery and said, shit, I'm going to do it better.
Right. Yeah.
That's what we're dealing with, bro.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you so much, Professor Allen.
I can dig it. I'm on my way.
Where you going, Rootwork Jones?
There's some musty suckers on the streets. I got to go handle that. I got to split, baby. Can you dig it?
When you need to clean the stank off the streets, you don't call your mama. You call Rootwork Jones. Rootwork Jones is a stone cold dude that keeps the stanky suckers shaking in their boots.
Listen up, chumps. I'm looking for Dolomus. Can you dig it?
Rootwork Jones is getting down to the nitty-gritty, taking on the mustiest sucker in the city.
Dolomust is my name, and staying good and musty is my game. Where is Rootwork Jones?
This is a super soul brother getting rid of the stank. And you can for sure take that to the bank.
Take that, you musty jive turkeys.
When Rootwork Jones is not dealing with drama, he finds time to deal with foxy mamas.
Why don't you come on over here and give me some of that root work, sugar?
Rootwork Jones. He's bold. He's bad. And he's keeping the suckers musty mad. Rootwork Jones coming to a theater near you. Go to rootworkstyle.com.
Rootwork Jones.
Man,
All right, Shabaka, what are your thoughts on this career?
That bullshit. Damn. Woo! But like you said, man, them stupid ass black exploitation films, which you was right about, Mr. Che. It did say that raggedy ass institution called Hollywood. Okay,
Right.
I'm writing this info you got email.
Okay. What's your thoughts on that Caribbean cosplayer who was talking about foundational Black Americans?
Okay, well, like I said, it's a divide and conquer technique of the diaspora. And boy, it needs some goddamn work to reheal it badly, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, I will agree with Tariq Nasheed that shit, man, will cause, I mean, you're going to need a miracle, man, to put that motherfucker on life support.
Divide and conquer, Shabaka. We aren't divided. We can't, when we allowed them to come over here, because we thought it was going to be reinforcements, like Tariq said, and them people said, no, I'm whatever the fuck. I'm not here to work with y'all. It's like that video I played with the Uganda and Tether that said, I'm not here to build with y'all. I'm here to take.
Yeah, I remember the stinking bitch. Yeah, exactly. And I agree with you on that. You say, but what will happen is with motherfuckers like that, as you already know, Brother Jay, when they come here, they get a rude, very rude awakening, particularly by the law enforcement. And of course, we know that the situation with Amadou Diallo, and then who was the one that they took the plunge and shoved it up his ass?
And FBAs came out in droves and supported him, Shabaka. I remember that vividly. I was a preteen teenager. I just became a teenager when that happened, and FBAs had came.
It was one fucked up case,
of him and his family getting justice, and it was not reciprocated, and it hasn't been reciprocated.
The sad part about it. Yeah, see, now that's the sad part about it. But we have to be extremely careful, because you remember when we debated old Dumbo Sarge on the situation in Niger? With the black soldier who was taken a mile away from his white soldiers. Now, why was he taken the mile away? Why did they do, like, say, special work on him? And what did Trump say to his widow, which I thought was really fucked up? Oh, he knew what he signed up for. Ain't that a bitch? Yeah.
So to answer your question, they probably thought he was a traitor. They probably thought he was one of them, and they wanted to make an example out of him. So they moved him a mile away to say, hey, this is what we do to traitors.
Okay. All righty. You see what I'm saying? All righty. Because now you see how you answered the question directly. When we asked those Dumbo Sarge that shit, he come up with all this diatribe and all this other type of shit. You know what I'm saying? You know.
So that brings this topic, Shabaka, which is, does honoring your FBA heritage mean you're seeking proximity to whiteness?
Okay. Okay, now who's doing the video on this right here?
Tariq.
Let's hear it, because I'm copying down his email address, man, that you had sent me.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Okay.
That's Valerie Denise Jones. That's her email.
Okay.
And we are recognizing that and putting respect on it and making everybody else put respect on it. And then you know how the tethers are. They try to run the Jedi mind trick. You just want to be like the white man. You want proximity to the white man. Well, no, y'all flee over here. with aspirations of getting proximity to the white man. That's you. Because when the white man goes to your village, you're the one who gets to doing the tribal dances and showing out and bucking your eyes. That's you. No, that's not our culture. Our culture is being self-sufficient and sovereign. Even in our fashion. See, a lot of people, that's another thing. See, there's a lot of misconceptions about our culture. Like our fashions, a lot of times we like high fashion things as foundational Black Americans. And many people attribute that. They think, okay, well, you guys want to be like white people to wear name brand stuff like white people. No, you have to understand foundational Black American psychology. A lot of clothing brands, they do good until they start trying to pander to the Black audience or to the hip hop audience. Because a lot of times the Black audience will gravitate towards something and it's a high-end type of thing. And when they start trying to pander to a Black audience, they lose the audience. There's a psychological reason for that. We like high-end stuff, and we know that the dominant white society, they hoard all the high-end stuff for themselves. You understand? So we want the shit that you're going to get. So if you wear some coats or some suits, where are you getting yours from? I want high fashion stuff. I want the good stuff. Because usually when they say, okay, we're going to make something specifically for you, subconsciously we understand usually they degrade it to a certain degree. When they try to make something specifically from us or for us, it's almost a downgrade, because they used to do that in slavery. They would wear high fashion clothes and good clothes, and we would say, hey, we want some of that. But then they're like, no, we got some for you, Leroy. We got some Negro cloth for you. It'd be this hard denim, this itchy cloth, this cheap cloth that they would have for us. So on a subconscious level, we knew if they give us something specifically, if they kind of design it specifically for us, on a subconscious level, we know that they're going to degrade it to a certain degree. So we always had the mindset of getting the stuff that they use, because we know that they're going to hoard the high quality stuff for themselves. Give me that. And then what we'll do, we're going to remix it and flip it and put our own flavor on it. So we want to cater it to ourselves on our own terms. Does that make sense, family? Am I making sense? Yeah. So we like to remix things and put our own FBA flavor on it. We're not trying to be like them. We just want the high quality stuff so that we can then flip it in our own way and keep the integrity and the high class of it, but still put our own FBA flavor on it. It's never us trying to be like them. Like, for example, when I'll use the Timberland boots, for example. Timberland boots was never made, Timberland boots, I think it came out in 1973. I think they were doing Timberland boots in 73. And Timberland boots, they made them very rugged for like workers, and they made it for people who were hikers. They was kind of high end. Timberland boots were kind of expensive because they're high end, rugged, sturdy boots. So they were kind of selling, and on the East Coast, the people who would wear Timberland boots first were the drug dealers. You see, a lot of drug dealers would introduce a lot of fashion things within our society and hip hop society. A lot of the street hustlers, you understand? Because they would have access to a lot of high end things, and then they would flip it and put their flavor on it, and the rest of the society would say, hey, I want that shit. That shit is fly. I want that. Like going back to Timberlands, that was something that, those East Coast D-boys, you out there working them corners, it's snowing, You standing out there on the corner, you need some shoes that are waterproof and sturdy while you out there on the block. So they would wear that and they would flip it and put some flavor on it and put some style on it. And then the hip hop audience got a hold of it. That's how it transferred into hip hop. The hip hop crowd started rocking the Tim boots. And we first started seeing that shit. I think one of the first videos, didn't Naughty by Nature in the OPP video, I think Tretch might have had on some Tims. I know Das Effect and those guys, especially those Brooklyn cats, that was a real big thing in Brooklyn. They started rocking it and took the Timberland boot. They weren't wearing it like the white people wore it. They loosened the strings and they just flipped it. And we put our own flavor on it, on something that was kind of high end to a certain degree. We did that with a lot of stuff. Polo shirts, we would flip it and wear it a certain way. You know, these high-end things that we're told that we shouldn't have access to, we're like, yes, I do want access to it. And when I get it, I'm going to flip it and put my own flavor on it. So that's when we'll get a high-end car. We don't want a car that's catered to us. No, give us a high-end car so we can flip it. So we'll get a Cadillac or a Mercedes and put some blades on it or whatever. We flip it. Just like with jewelry, we get a Rolex watch, which is a high-end watch, and we'll bust it down with diamonds. We put our own flavor on it. We like to remix things on our own terms. You know, that's a part of foundational Black American culture. You see? See, we've always had that kind of mindset. See, remixing, that was like resistance to erasure to a certain degree. Because see, we've always been, denied authorship over mainstream culture. So even though we've created a lot of things in mainstream culture, so remixing elite or off-limit things, that became a form of creative resistance. That's us saying, basically, if I can't be included in your system, I'll flip it into something on my own. So we get in their space and we reclaim that space on our terms. You understand? And we've always had a legacy of making do with what's available. Even during Jim Crow and slavery, we were given leftovers, secondhand clothes, abandoned instruments. And what did we do? We started making soul food. We started making cultural delicacies with that leftover stuff. Those clothes, the secondhand cloths and fabrics, we would tailor them and make fly outfits, just like with Dapper Dan. Our brother Dapper Dan got Gucci prints and Louis Vuitton prints and started making track suits and outfits for the drug dealers and then the hip hop crowd. You see? So we've always had that alchemist mindset. That spirit never really left us. It evolved into a cultural instinct. So when we're given access to luxury, the impulse is not to really preserve it in its original form. We have to transform it with our own flavor. So that's not us trying to be like them. If we're trying to be like them, we just, keep it the way they brought it to us. But then we always got to flip it. See, we always have to, part of our resistance mindset is to assert our own identity in a conformist society. See, when you get high class shit, there's some invisible rules with it. They tell you how to wear them. You got to do this. If you get a certain car, you got to drive it this way. You can't do this. You can't do that. You got to behave a certain way in elite spaces. So when we get luxury shit, we remix it, flip it, like a foundational Black American woman in a Donna Karan dress. She's gonna wear that shit way differently than a white woman in a Donna Karan dress. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna put all types of flavor on it. It's gonna be highlights, accents, jewelry, accessories. It's gonna rock different. It's gonna look different. It's gonna hang different. You know? That's like a little metaphysical thing with us. And we turn ownership into authorship. See, there's a difference between owning a luxury good having a cultural authorship of it. See, when we modify a Rolls Royce or an iced out watch, we create new meaning around the object. So it's not just a symbol of wealth, it becomes a symbol of Black excellence. It's a symbol of rebellion. You understand? So we just got to really understand the mindset that comes with us flipping and remixing certain things as foundational Black Americans. It's not about proximity to whiteness, because when we get in those circles, we flip things and we make them our own. That's something very unique, man. Let me see. Let's get a couple of more folks in here. RJ, I don't want to hear no more of your. I don't know why you're requesting RJ. We didn't heard Tether Babble and Democrat Shield Battle. We didn't heard enough. I don't want to hear no more, to be honest. 'Cause, yeah, you crashing out. You ain't saying nothing. I think that little Democrat money dried up. So now they got you out here stuck. And you got to look out the window for the immigration trucks. So yeah, you struggling right now. You might be over there at Stacy's house.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Hold on, he might be over at Stacy's house doing some OnlyFans. Ali, what's up, man?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm good, Ali. Have you called up before, Ali?
Gone to where? Sorry?
Have you called up here? Have you called me before?
Not really, no.
Okay, first time call. Okay, I'll just double check. What's on your mind?
Okay,
Not
brother
much,
Che,
bro.
pause
I
Tariq
just randomly joined the
for
space,
a
you know.
second, if you would
You
please.
seem to be a well-grounded.
Okay, yeah, hey, twin. Yeah, I'm responding to you, man. And I think, man, you know, it's with this YouTube setup where you stated that I had a bad bowl of gumbo. Brother, I don't do gumbo, man. It was not a bad bowl. That shit had me sick, man. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of it is made off of bottom feeders, crustaceans. You know what I mean?
Bad ball if it made you sick, Shabaka. Every time
Yeah.
I had, I've never gotten sick.
Yeah, I've gotten sick, brother. You know what I'm saying? You know, so like I said, it might have been a bad bowl, twin. You know, all due respect to you, brother, but it's something I won't trust again, man.
Like you don't eat, you don't eat chitlins. You eat pig feet.
I don't do hog guts. No, sir.
Do you eat collard greens? Do you eat mac and cheese? Do you eat any of the soul food that we?
Okay. The collard greens, yeah, I prefer the greens, you know, but don't put no. I don't do the South, brother. Okay. I've been down there one time. I didn't like the vibe, and the cat like me, man, will wind up dead.
You. I've been
Huh?
to the more than one time, Shabaka. I've been to the South several times, and
Yeah, but I did go to Augusta, GA. You know what I'm saying? And saw James Brown Boulevard. You know, I was glad to see that.
one time, Shabaka. You just can't make an assumption off of one time. You gotta go a couple of times to get a good assessment of what it is that you were eating.
Okay, now I did go to the ATL, you know, Atlanta's, because somebody had challenged me, Shabaka, when the fuck you going to the South? So for that challenger out there, I went to the South. I didn't dig it. Like I said, that song by Billie Holiday kept going through my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Song by Billie Holiday go through your mind anywhere you go in this country. You act like the
Yeah,
lynches.
strange. Yeah.
Shabaka, you act like the lynches were just in the South. They were
Now
all
you
over
had lynches in California like a motherfucker. Yeah. You sure
California.
did.
They had them all over. They had them in Colorado. They had them in Illinois. They had them in Ohio. They had them in Pennsylvania. They had them in New York. They had them all over. Wisconsin, Kansas.
Yeah, definitely Kansas. Yeah.
So just the South, Shabaka. So when you say that, it's just like I just don't get it because they had lynches all over the country. Strange fruit was all over the country.
Okay, and did you ever and then also too, Mac 285, pull up a place called Taft, California, 1972. Yeah, I think we discussed that. Yeah, I think we discussed Taft, California, 1972.
That's where the hanging judge was. Yes, Shabaka.
Hmm.
But that wasn't regulated to the South, though. That wasn't
I
even
know.
regulated in California. That's every state in this country had lynchings.
Yeah. Oh, also too to find out too, you just brought back a memory too, brother Che. They had a couple of them up there in Washington State and Oregon. It's
Twin said
because
Texas is waiting on you, Shabaka. You need to
uh,
go down there with Governor Rolaids. He said
Governor Rowley.
I've been to Texas. I've been to Dallas, Amarillo. I wasn't able to make it to Houston. I did have some family in San Antonio though. They've since
Okay.
passed.
I did go to Houston. Yeah, oh, I believe it. Oh, hell yeah. Shit, yeah. I believe it, Mac 285 out here. They call Las Vegas the Mississippi of the South, you know.
You just need some good Southern hospitality, Shabaka. That's
No,
it.
sir. What I need is a reparations check, man, of $255 zillion billion. Oh,
Zillion
I don't
billion.
drink beer, twin. Yeah, I appreciate the offer, twin, but I don't drink beer. I can't consume no alcohol, brother. You know, I'm on medications because I'm a
Got lynched in
borderline
Las
diabetic.
Vegas.
Yeah, oh, I believe it. Yeah, oh, hell yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, we can't have you
Because,
get
see,
dark.
yeah, okay, because I can't drink no beer, man. No, I don't do no alcohol. You know what I'm saying? You know,
What do you
because
drink?
you see,
You,
folks, I'm on my way out, so you know I'm with the Simply Lime, you know, the natural lime. But wait a minute, though, hold it. Wait a minute.
Twin, we can on with 'em.
I think with that, okay, wait a minute, man. What's that drink they used to make at the bar, man? That you put you got lime juice with it, and I think you put a shot of gin in there or something. I forgot what they called.
A Long Island iced tea. No,
No, but it's something about with the lime juice, man. You know, that made me
martini.
think.
A
No, not
martini.
a martini. No, that there's vodka, vermouth, and an olive. Actually, yeah, that's that drink. James Bond always order vodka martini, shaken and not stirred. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It's not a Bloody Mary. I don't know, Shabaka. It
Yeah,
sounds what you're talking about.
yeah. But like I said, man, you know, I did the South, you know, and woo.
One time. One time. That's like me saying I've been to Florida one time. I didn't like it, so I'm never
I
going back.
didn't dig Florida either, man, because I remember down there, man, because you know our girl down there, Rashida,
Yeah.
she just won her another marathon, man. You know what I'm saying? So that sister, boy, she could do some running, you know.
You saying, hey, I've been to New Orleans one time. I didn't like it. Like, no, I liked it. Every time I was in the South, I had a good time. I didn't have no
Yeah,
bad. Just minus I couldn't get no good seafood the last time I was in New Orleans. But outside of that, I didn't have no real bad experiences.
yeah, yeah. I don't do New Orleans, Louisiana, because I got a loved one in my family. Okay, um, who is from Shreveport, Louisiana,
Yeah, that's in the
and she,
North.
yeah, and she had told me that her uncle after World War II had got on a bus, right, and he was in uniform. It's the World War II now, uh, and they beat him to a pulp, and I'm like, oh man.
In 1940 something. That
Yeah,
didn't.
is that the World War II? That's 1945, I think.
Yeah, that didn't personally happen to you though, Shabaka. You going off
But
of something that's happened to somebody else, and you
yeah,
using it to
but
harbor resentment for the South, which you have even said on record that your family is from Alabama.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's true. And they were beaten with chains.
Fire.
Yeah,
They are some.
that's true. Now, twin, no, Mac 285 is saying Southern gal fire. So he's saying is that Southern gals are on fire, and I think wait a minute, didn't what's his name, man? I think it was Frankie Beverly made a record called Southern Girl. Did he or did he not?
I think he did, Shabaka.
Yeah, Frank. Yeah, because that's what Twin is saying. R.I.P. to Frankie Beverly. You know what I mean? But but you know, with Sly Stone dying, man, and I'll never forget. I think I sent you the clip, brother Jay, where Ali and Sly Stone was up there, man. And,
Played it on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced.
Yeah, well, Ali was about to hit Sly Stone, and he was so fucked up off that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he had downright pissed Ali off, man. And Ali had told him, like in a kind way, man, kind of like mind your tongue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, Shabaka, I'm going to move us to the last topic because we've pressed for time now. We already hit the 3-hour mark.
3 hours.
So the last topic is about your boy Julius Malema. He is calling out Xanians or South Africans involved in Operation Dudula. I think I'm pronouncing. So the sister from
the AFF leader Julius Malema is addressing Operation Dudula, and he has a few questions to those that are involved in it. Watch this clip, we'll come back to discuss.
This Operation Dudula, why is it not going to take the land? Why does it go and Dudula the land? Why is this Operation Dudula not going to the farms and attend to the farmers who are violating the rights of the farm workers? Where is Operation Dudula when criminals have taken the streets, cash in transit, the rapists? Where are they? They are targeting a person who sells on the streets. What is economic power about that? Fight for the real economic power.
Those are valid points and questions. And this is something that we've talked about for a long time. Most of us, unfortunately, we live in a mentality where we rather fight for the crumbs than address the real issue, than address the real evil, than address the real enemy that we have. And it's sad, but it's not a new thing. It's not just in South Africa as well. It happens in a lot of African countries as well as other countries that have been colonized before or are still under the control of the invisible hand. What they do is they turn you against each other, leave you fighting for crumbs when they take the majority of the share and live happily with their people, with their peers, with their families, as they are triggering us to fight one another. And the politicians use this perfectly. They use it to escape any kind of responsibility or accountability. Like, as he said, fight for real economic power. That's what we need. And that's not what's happening, unfortunately. We have seen this trend that is going on in South Africa, that immigrants are being treated very badly. When I say immigrants, just Black African immigrants. As you know, and as we've reported before, there are so many white immigrants, European immigrants that are not even legal in South Africa, but they live happily, they get paid, they don't even pay tax, and nothing happens to them because guess what? They have separated themselves and they are not in the vicinity of those that are fighting for crumbs. So no one even checks for them. No one even sees them as an immigrant. They're expats, even though they're not paying tax and they're there illegally. And Julius Malema also asked, how come this operation is not going to the farm, is not going to the land, is not seeing the real issues, the real economic power where it is? It's not really targeting that. It's just targeting the street vendors and the people that are barely making it, right? So that's what he was addressing. Anyways, fam, let us know down below what your thoughts are about never touched and are never the ones to face this discrimination, and it's just our African brothers and sisters.
All right, Shabaka, what's your thoughts on that?
Okay, the sister is
Shabaka?
right. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, the sister is right, and this is what Mama Africa was always talking about too. You know, like the clip we did on her, saying that we don't exist until the white man comes here and what have you. So the sister is like re-emphasizing Sister Miriam Makeba, may she rest in power, and also to Sister Namzamo, may she rest in powers, because she divorced Nelson Mandela, saying that he was pretty much becoming like a straight ass coon.
Operation Dudula is an organization which turned into a political party in Xania. The group is widely recognized as being xenophobic
against white folks.
That's what Wikipedia says.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, xenophobic against white folks, and like I said, how the hell, man?
If it was xenophobic toward white folks, then them white folks would have been the hell up out of there. They're xenophobic to the Africans. So you got Africans. You got Africans from Uganda there. You got Africans from Ghana there. You got Africans from Nigeria there, and they want them out.
Damn. As opposed to uniting the damn place. Wow.
Yeah.
But as we also do know, and I think, Brother Che, you had mentioned this a while back, and want to mention this here, and then we need to wrap it up. Okay, you know that the Chinese are trying to build a trans-African highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, a big mistake. Need to get the Chinese out of there. But that's subject for a future show. But go ahead, please continue.
Let's see what they had to say. This Operation Dudula.
And then telling us what you aim to achieve with today's demonstration.
Angeke ngibingelele kuwe emsakazi. No, okokuqala nje engingakusho i-purpose yale march ukuya kwa Human Rights Commission, and this march was ibiqalwe abantu noma i-Operation Dudula yaseGoli, whereby sabona ukuthi thina as i-KZN, let's give them a support yokuthi laba lokhu abakhala ngakho, it's affecting the whole South Africa. So as sisuka la siya kwa Human Rights Commission, as much as even neGoli lizobe lisekhona Human Rights Commission, whereby sinama demands esiyowabeka la sithi Human Rights Commission ama-laws wase-South Africa, because i-Chapter 9 Institute as i-Human Rights Commission, so kumele imele abantu base-South Africa. So instead of ukuthi imele abantu base-South Africa, they tend to ukuthi bamele abantu bangalo bokufika ikakhulukazi, because there are cases, especially in Joburg, I think ake aba nationally, whereby ingane ziyafa zidle ama-chips nazo zonke lezi zinto, but human rights uhlulekile ukumela leyo families ethe yashonelwa izingane. Instead it supported these organizations, and lama organization alwisa noma alekelela ama foreigners ala eSouth Africa.
But I'm just helping clarify one particular aspect, because in recent weeks we've seen members of Operation Dudula, organizations like March and March as well, going to healthcare facilities and preventing certain individuals from accessing those particular facilities. What I do want to clarify is that initially it started as looking for those that are not documented and are in the country legally, but it seems as if it's expanded to foreign nationals in general. What's the stance really when it comes to sort of the gatekeeping of these healthcare facilities of Operation Dudula?
No, engingakusho ngokwa healthcare, healthcare ubuya ngokusobala ukuthi if a foreign national is ala eSouth Africa.
So basically they're saying they're trying to provide them health care. It's basically bankrupting Xania, and they want to get out of there.
Yeah, so
they're having the same issue that we're having with the illegal here. Basically. They're taking up all the resources. They're in the healthcare system.
Trump was bringing the boars here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're talking about totally, man, totally. And then also too, okay, I take it that we went through all the subjects, and we're gonna keep researching what's going on with Trump on the health issues. You know what I'm saying? When I look at the idiot box today, and then also to Donald John Trump. You are a man of great honor, Mr. Trump. You're a 34 convicted felon. Okay, sir, please do the right thing and go to Alcatraz in San Francisco Bay. Okay, you can make it your Western White House like Richard Nixon did with his residence down there in San Clemente during his regime, and set the example of good government by turning your crooked ass self in. Okay, because you are a crook. Okay, and you make no bones about it. And I don't hate you, Trump. Actually, I admire you because you are honest
Yeah,
about how you honestly
he
feel.
feels
Yeah, you
and how
see.
he
So
honestly feels about this country, and we haven't been
yeah,
getting the recognition we so rightfully deserve.
yeah, exactly. And you did say, Trump. Now this is you when you said in your first regime, we did build this mug, which we did. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Which we did. So Trump. You know what I'm saying? You could write it off on your taxes, man. You know what I'm saying? Kick out the reparations. You could use it for a tax credit. You
Just
know
cut
what
the
I'm saying? Yeah, just cut the check, Trump, and you got the money, man. And then not to mention, the other billions and hundreds of millions that you are stolen. I'm not mad at you. Me personally, Trump, uh, I think you're crazy, but guess what? I do respect you because you are stating how you honestly feel. Getting rid of DEI was the best thing to ever happen for us
every
to flourish in black business because that means we can hire our own people. But we don't need no
shots like
feathering, coon ass, brain dead Negroes like Uncle Tim Scott with zippity doo dah, zippity day. I got plenty of
yeah,
nothing
Remus syndrome.
for me.
No more Uncle Remus. Them days of Uncle Remus are over.
Oh yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And Tim Scott, you treated him right, and it was very sad, Mr. Scott, to see you get up there and tell Trump
That
how
was
much you loved him. That, sir, wasn't an embarrassment.
I agree. All right, Shabaka. So is that your closing statement?
Yes, sir. That's my closing statement.
Okay. All right. Well, thank y'all for tuning in to season 10, episode 33. We're back. Did you miss us? We're back with Grand Rising with Shabaka and the Shades in conjunction with the Frontline Black News. Join us tomorrow for a brand new episode of the Frontline Black News. In the
Right.
meantime, make sure you subscribe to all of our platforms. Frontline Black News on YouTube and Facebook. The Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube and Facebook. And Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on Facebook, which I put the link in the chat for the Facebook since they took the page down. And Shabaka had to
Right.
set up the page. That's the link right there.
Right.
And, you can find them on GenUp1. Put that
On
in the
YouTube. Oh yeah. Number one on YouTube. Yeah. Oh boy, these guys here. Okay. Join chat. Okay. Now I'm hitting here join chat to put it in, and now it's saying connect with YouTube.
Yeah, just put it in the private chat, Shabaka.
Okay, private chat. Okay, yeah. All right. Jenna Bourne on YouTube. Okay. Okay. All right.
Just
Okay.
put it. That way you ain't got to cross file and all that.
Yeah. So there it is right there. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna bid everybody a good day here. It's almost noon here in Las Vegas. What people?
It's 105 degrees.
Now it's mostly sunny today, and it's 92 degrees right now. You know what I'm
31 degrees right now in Denver.
Yeah, so therefore, be sure to go out there, for those of the Caucasian persuasion, go sit in the sun, okay, but leave your sunscreen at home. Once again, leave your sunscreens at home. So therefore, you could get proven the point that we are not the same.
All
Okay.
right.
So I'm gonna bid everybody a good day. Got a lot of errands to run and stuff like that.
Thanks, Shabaka.
And then also too, check out Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on StreamYard on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Okay, in the Pacific, 9 p.m. for those of you in the East as well. All right, so I'm out here from Las Vegas, Nevada. Come on, 7-Eleven. Out.
Black. All right, peace, y'all. We'll see y'all. Front Line Blacc News.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, he got to get some good gumbo. That's all. All right, Twin. Appreciate you tapping in. Shout out to Twin. Shout out to Mac 285. Shout out to Michael Pan, our Asian ally, for coming on and doing the reparations work. Anybody that was speaking and not speaking, I'll shout out to Jab Jamboree for coming through. Shout out to Kahari for coming through. And anybody else that's going to be listening to the playback or not or didn't speak. So peace, love, light, reparations, and separations, and Black empowerment. Chan Krumah signing out from the Mile High Income and illegal migrant flooded, soon to be deported city. Peace.